Alright, this is Randalicious. Welcome to the 21st Hexis podcast. And we're streaming this shit for those of you who are watching. Feel free to post questions. We'll collect some and answer them at the end. We're going to be giving out OS Buddy Pro codes throughout the podcast as well, so keep your eyes peeled for that shit. But let's get going. I'm Randalicious, and I'm the leader of Hexis.
Trance, and I have the least amount of combat XP on the top page, Old School RuneScape.
I'm Trickool, I'm General in Hexis, and also the Guardian Preserver of the Old School Feel.
Ripstream.
Jord, your shit.
Mike's done.
Yep, alright. Skip them for now. Go ahead.
I'm Alkan, and I am gay homo.
Dream's gone.
I'm Cam, and I'm a fairly new member of Hexis, going for max total.
And I'm Jord, and I am a developer for OS Buddy.
Alright, so for those of you who are watching this shit, I'll at some point I will post everything that we got going on here so you guys can follow along, but get it going though. Jordan, you said you are a developer for OS Buddy. What can you tell us about that?
So I've been working on OS Buddy for about a year and a half now. I mainly do back-end systems and web systems. However, I have written a few plugins, so some of the things used in game probably been written by me.
Alright.
Like some of those things include like basically all of the web systems that you probably use are written by me, and I've done a few plugins such as mainly like the chat related ones, like the PM highlighter and things like that. But like any questions you have with the plausibility of ideas or anything like that, I probably will be able to answer.
Alright.
Is this still offline?
Everything is going good for me, but I'm recording it anyway, so
I'll refresh.
Also, can you tell me if I like start over talking, because that happens a lot.
oh no, feel free to keep it going.
Okay.
Man, it's offline.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah, it is.
Christ. I'll stop it and start it, but we'll continue anyway.
Right.
It's alright. There's been a whole lot of bugs with the surprisingly simple engine changes that have come about. What are your thoughts that it's still not all been fixed, and how has it affected you while playing RuneScape over the last few days?
In terms of OS Buddy, I know it's been annoying some of the people who do the updates for OS Buddy, because whenever they do a game engine update, it means that we have to update, so it's been a lot of back and forth for us trying to just get things working really, but it's what we're paid to do, so we do it. In terms of the game, it has been pretty annoying. Like, I remember just logging in and there being like bank people like right by the smithing things in Varrock, and I was like, oh shit, does this mean I can like just get really quick smithing XP with a banker there? But no, it didn't work as I thought it was going to.
I think it was Ghost who said that it was a surprisingly simple engine change. It was to do with the Abyssal boss thing that's supposedly coming out, but yeah, it forced me into a corner of abusing a bug ability for about 2.5 hours. So save like 3-6 a lap. And now, even with the fixes, I keep spinning around on the last obstacle for some reason, and I don't know why.
Does that cause you to lose a tick when you spin around?
It used to, but now it spins back around to face the last obstacle. It's
Ah.
I think it's when you click too late. But yeah, it's annoying.
But yeah, I thought it was, I was having a lot of fun. Like, I don't know exactly what they did under the hood, but you would like interact with objects from like one tick away, so agility was faster, and like plunder was faster, you interact with the doors, and mining was faster. Made a couple videos about it, 'cause I thought it was fun, but they averted it pretty quickly, so didn't have too much fun.
Yeah, you saw a screenshot that you had like Was that 85 or 81 KXP per hour?
Yeah, it was on pace for like an 80 plus K mining hour.
For
Wow.
mining?
Yeah.
Jesus. For me, I'm slaying, so I haven't really noticed anything myself at all. Flash, I don't abuse things. GG.
Man, I ran into this problem. I went to pick up some supplies from someone at the duel arena, and they were in World 2. And I logged out near the bank in World 2, and, like, when I went to log in, like, the bank was just not there. I was, like, 100 tiles to the fucking east, like, on a mountain, and, like, he was trading me, but, like, he was nowhere on my screen. Like, I really don't even know if I can put it into words. I was freaking out. If Trance wouldn't have bullied Ace off of the podcast,
Oh.
he would have been able to explain
Already, man.
as well.
Jesus.
But, dude, like, I was freaking the fuck out. I was, like, 100 tiles east of where I logged out, and I couldn't see anything, but, like, he's trading me, and I made the trade, but he was just nowhere on there. And then I ended up getting stuck, like, in midair, because, like, I was able to, like, walk off the mountain, and it just looked like I was floating up there. But I didn't really play much the right after that update, so I didn't get to abuse intentionally or unintentionally any bugs.
Features.
Features, yeah.
Any unintended features that were added to the game. But yeah, I mean it was really random, but alright. Moving on. Do you guys use any guides for anything? Whether it's for like skilling methods or quests or anything like that?
Sometimes when I'm slaying, I have to like relook at where I place my cannon for Slayer because I haven't not used the old school cannon spots. But it's probably the only thing I look at. Besides, if someone uploads like a super efficient method with like doing 2 skills at once, I'll take a look at that and see if I can do it, I guess. But that's about it for me.
Yeah, not anymore. I used to all the time. Before always good, and especially for Slayer, I'd always go watch like. I remember Durari had some really cool Slayer vids back in the day for cannon spots. I would always go back to those and see where to put the cannon.
I used them. I used the Inga album of the cannon spots when I did Slayer, and that was the last I can remember using a guide. I'm usually alright on my own.
So if I ever have to do a quest, I am so fucking lost. I have to use a quest guide for everything. I think the only thing that I can do without a guide is like Cook's Assistant. But I struggle. I struggle at fucking quests. I used a guide recently when I did the Dwarf Cannon quest, and it said the only thing that I need is a hammer. I didn't bring the hammer.
Didn't you also ask, what's that quest for the dwarf cannon?
Yeah. Quests are not kind to me. It's I always use shit for quests, man.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Randy. I'll pretty much use guides religiously anytime I have to do a quest. And also, just going back on like some skilling spots or different techniques, like to refresh.
For me, like, quests, I can't do them without, like, I don't even need guides, I need, like, YouTube guides, because I hate it in a quest guide when they're like, oh, talk to the guy wearing red, and there's, like, 10 guys wearing red. So, like, I like to have a video guide so I know exactly which guy they're talking about. So I, like, have to go quite far with it, I guess.
I have one thing to add. I guess this is more directed towards Jord. Have you guys thought about doing a plugin for, like, Cannon Slayer spots, then? On Old School Buddy?
What do you mean exactly?
Like where to place the cannon for like
A
specific
highlighted
Slayer
tile.
class? Yeah, kind of like
we
for a
could,
quick
yeah.
source.
Yeah, we could. The hardest bit would be knowing where the tiles are, but it's a very easy thing to do, yeah.
Wow, that That would be a really awesome plugin, I would think.
Basically, if you guys could just take screenshots of where to place cannons, and then that will just make it really easy for us to make. But
Just see a lot of you using Slayer efficiently too.
Yeah, but I personally couldn't tell you where to place the cannon at probably a couple of the spots.
Sounds like that would be something pretty simple to add in then.
Yeah, very simple.
Oh, hey, good thinking there, Alkan. That was good shit.
Yeah.
Alright. Moving on. Is there anything from RS3 you would like to see an altered version of in old school? If so, what is it?
No.
Wait.
Maybe,
Wait, Skill of Fortune isn't even OP, it's Treasure Hunter.
yeah, it's Treasure Hunter, sorry. Like a comp cape would be cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess a comp cape would be pretty cool, but if I had to choose one thing, I really want to see the whole fight kill minigame, because that was like really enjoyable, and I know a lot of people weren't even able to complete it.
Now, for me, I'm a noob. What can you elaborate on what the fight kiln is?
It was basically like a much harder fight case where like some ways you'd have to fight Jad plus monsters, and I know there was a way where you'd have to fight double Jad, and if you didn't know
Holy
the
shit.
spot, you would just get like instantly fucked.
For double Jad, would it have 2 attacks at a different time, or how it?
It's safe spot it.
Yeah,
You
you'd
can
have
save
to
spot one.
lure one of the Jads, yeah.
Oh,
The best part about Kiln is that they said 1-2-6s will not be able to do this on the first day, and on the first day, a 1 defense pure got it.
well, it goes to show how talented the team at.
When Zelra came out, they said like, I'll be surprised if anybody does it in under 2 minutes or something.
Oh
Forget what
yeah,
it was.
yeah. Like no one in the office there could even kill Zulrah. Pathetic. One thing that I would really like to see is like a tweaked version of summoning. Obviously, I mean, given that we're having sailing pulled, it seems highly unlikely that summoning would ever find its way into a pull. So I guess I should stop gripping on to the hope of that coming, but I really did like summoning. A tweaked version of that would be nice.
For me, I wasn't too keen on the rewards, but I quite liked the concept of dungeoneering. But I do understand why lots of people didn't like it, because the way I did it was a lot with friends, whereas I know people who had to do dungeoneering with a bunch of randoms who really didn't get on with it very well.
For me, I guess the most recent update was like the boss slayer that should have been a copy of like the Reaper assignment on RS3. It's a really failed version of it. And besides that, I like dungeoneering a lot. I think it brought it made a lot of new friends, to be honest. Everyone that was doing floors efficiently, you would end up adding and becoming friends with, and you would later on talk to them about efficient things anyways. So I like dungeoneering days, to be honest. It made me start being more efficient. But I don't know, people are kind of scared obviously of change like that.
For the next question, I don't think there's a question that we have about boss slayer. Do we have one, Randy?
I have not had the opportunity to look through this
Okay,
one.
well then we should probably talk about it now because it's a load of crap.
Go ahead, elaborate on it.
You get like less than 5 of every boss, except for like the God Redundant bosses. And yeah. And they're like not even like common tasks that you should. If you want to do boss slayer, I think you should be able to only do boss slayer like it is in RS3. We have the master. You get like 2 giant moles, and you get 5k slayer bonus for the 2 giant moles. I don't know. I just feel like it's really poorly designed.
Someone told me that the moles could be really good XP per hour, though.
Yeah.
Like 60k plus.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
Do you
know.
think that the tasks should be longer than what they are?
oh yeah, definitely like 20 at least.
Yeah. I'd like for them to encourage boss tasks rather than just conventional put your cannon down, sit in the corner and AFK. I think you should get a relatively minor XP increase for doing boss tasks over just conventional slaying.
Now when they assign the boss slayer, they assign you a boss, right? They change that.
Specific one.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like most people doing boss slayer are gonna get kind of upset if they don't get a boss task. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of disappointing when you, like, oh, I have to do Hellhounds before I can get a boss. And it's not like it's like, if you had like a separate Slayer Master, you probably wouldn't get a bonus XP reward just because.
Yeah, what I find interesting about that is because I remember when they were talking about Zaya, there was supposed to be a boss specific Slayer Master that was going to be on that.
Yeah.
But I don't see that coming now that we've got this shit.
Does anybody actually do the boss task? Like, I don't understand how you would enjoy getting like 3 Venonatuses.
I don't know. It
Really dumb.
with the amount of tasks that you can do, just off of like regular shit like dags, hell fights, whatever the fuck there is else.
Aviancies.
Yeah, like there is
Black
greater demons as well. Like there is a lot of shit that you like boss slayer you can actually do. So
Yeah, they even included things like 3 cow fight queens for one of the boss tests, and I don't really even see the purpose in that.
I find it really funny that Hexis member called Rionatu. Turadel is better for boss slayer than Duradel, just because it assigns bears and spiders, and you can still get the 10% increase in damage using the Slayer Helm on the bosses like Callisto and Venonatuses, because they still fall under the category of spiders and bears.
Oh, I never knew that.
wow.
And skeletons, so you can kill Vetian.
That thing's a skeleton?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Alright, so moving on then. What are your guys' current priorities in life, and where does RuneScape rank among them?
So for me, the only really priority I have at the moment is work, so I guess RuneScape kind of ties into that, so I guess RuneScape is fairly high in my priorities. Yeah.
I'm currently on summer break, so I've got like no priorities and just play RuneScape when I've got nothing better to do, which is 80 hours a week apparently.
Well, starting tomorrow, school starts, so that's probably number 1 priority. And then I also train sports and powerlifting, so that's probably number 2 priority. And then number 3 would be RS anytime I have free time. But I'd be fucking lying if I said that RS doesn't take priority over some of those.
Oh yeah, I'm in the same boat as Trickool right now. My summer break's coming to an end within like 2 weeks. But I take online classes, so I might be able to squeeze some RuneScape in while I do some of that shit.
Between some online classes and whilst you do some RuneScape, you mean?
Yeah, sorry. Agility, basically.
Yeah.
Moving on then. What was the first efficient method you used, for example, like backwards fire making?
I don't remember. Maybe barb fishing, but none of the tick abuse methods were really known at the time. But I did fish one, drop one, so I guess at the time that was like efficient.
If we're talking strictly old school, I guess one of the like tick abusing during fishing, but pretty much every method I do is macro efficient at least.
Yeah, same with Trance to start. When I did fishing, I'll fish one, drop one, because I saw Jebram do it and I thought it was what you were supposed to do. Aside from that, maybe the cannon, sitting in the corner, the cannon spots, again, something Jebram brought my attention to. So you can get double hits.
For me, I'll say using AHK for prayer. You know, it's at the time when I did it, you had to manually do it, and there was no way in fuck I was gonna do it freestyle. And got set up with AHK. That was the first time I started using it, and haven't stopped since.
The one that comes to mind for me is back in RS3 when you could superheat while mining gold at the Living Rock Caverns, and then doing the drop one mine one technique with like using one on your mouse keys, so you drop down and left, and then you could double click. So the first click would go on drop, and the second click would start mining again. And yeah, I did that for quite a while.
I think for me it was when I started like rack rune crafting, when summoning like came out like a year after. You would try to see how many nature runes you can make per rack. It'd always be like a competition with yourself or other friends, I guess. I don't know how far that goes as far as efficiency, but that, and I guess, yeah, at Living Rock Caverns was fun with mining and superheating. That's it for me, to be honest.
Alright, what are your guys' thoughts on Alfred's design for the Inferno Axe? Here, I will link a picture of it in the chat, but what do you guys thought about it from looking at it so far? I haven't been a fan of it. You can't really even tell that anything's even there. I feel it's just kind of pretty fucking weak is
That's really
what I'd
weak.
say.
There should be like some fiery looking things on it.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be some.
It should be trimmed with like gold or some shit at least.
Yeah, I think it is pretty ugly. I can't even distinguish it from a normal Dragon Axe. I thought they'd at least, like, somewhat mimic the Inferno As design from RS3, but that's not even close. I'd at least like to see the chopping animation, if you guys remember that from the ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that comes back.
Wait, is there animation for when you burn, or is it just you
You just see a little log catch fire and go off to the side.
That sounds
Actually
like it
pretty
could be
good.
cool.
kind of like it. It's like really simple. Like it's
Yeah.
not like some overstated thing. I don't know.
I'd like to be able to tell a difference by looking at it. I mean, you really have got to squint your fucking eyes to see what the actual change is. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he said, all right, like, here is the design, I was looking at it like, what the fuck am I looking at? This looks like a...
That kind
Did
of
they
seems
rework
to
the
be
Dragon
like-
Axe?
Like, the blade is a little bit pointier, and it's got this little shit at the bottom of the axe. I mean,
Darker handle.
did that take him over or under 5 minutes? I'm taking the under.
I really like it. It's nice and simple, and I'm glad that Ghost didn't touch it, because it'd be fucking... Ugh, it wouldn't be an axe.
I would have liked to seen something on it that...
I like it, but I would prefer the just the model from RS3. That's fine. I'll probably
So the
take
model
less
from
than-
RS3, it's also worked as like a pickaxe. That's why it's probably designed a little bit different. It looks more like a pickaxe as well.
This one's supposed to work as a pickaxe. Oh wait, no, it's not.
Is this? Yeah. I mean, you can attach the thing to the pickaxe, and it's a different item.
It seems like the trend is to kind of design the item so it looks good and resizable and not fixed. Like, I'm sure that's really distinguishable and resizable, but in fixed mode, then you can't really tell.
Yeah, good point. I wonder how many, now that you say that it's designed more for resizable, I wonder how many players actually play on resizable compared to fixed.
Questions coming up.
Oh, really? Well, fuck it. Moving on then. Alright. How do you guys feel about all the people doing Slayer at once? The current state of Slayer in general has so many people doing it, and shit is very overcrowded. Would you support instanced Slayer areas?
Oh my god, it's perfect timing for me because I'm doing Slayer.
You running into a lot of
it's fucking-
problems?
It's so horrible at the common tasks like Blood Velds and Hellhounds, and even Abyssal Demons, but I don't do it in the tower because I haven't done the diaries yet. I wouldn't. I guess the total level worlds kind of helped a little bit, but like 2K total still not that high. I still see a lot of people there. I wouldn't mind like a newer place where we can move to. I guess this cave is kind of old now. I guess could be in like a pretty cool area out soon. You need like 90 Slayer to enter it or some shit like that.
Well, I haven't slayed in a while, but even when I was slaying like 2 months ago or so, when the diaries came out, I remember going to the Slayer Tower or whatever and just seeing people in like full dragon killing them, and I remember that being really annoying, being forced to slay there. And I remember just every cannonable monster, people just think they're able to share it with you, so that's a bit frustrating. I couldn't say if I would or wouldn't support Instant Slayer. It would depend how they would do it.
They can make it so you pay for it, so it's like 50k or 100k GP per task. You can just like create your own instance. It's like a tiny bit of money sink, I guess.
There is
for blood belts, I'd probably pay 50k an hour for blood belts or 50k for one task.
when I saw Ash tweeting that it would be impossible to make Neve's Cave 100% instance because of how many monsters are in there, but he didn't say that he's not open to the idea of adding in more spots somewhere else instanced. Just hearing all the people who are complaining about how just bad instanced Slayer, Slayer has been at like Hellhounds and Blood Veils, like that shit just really turns me off from wanting to do it, and I would definitely support paying some money either every task or every hour or a large one-time fee just to not have other people fuck around.
Yeah, I would definitely support. It would be a really nice GP sync, but they could also do like a Slayer point sync maybe, or like you get to choose if you want to pay Slayer points or a bunch of GP to have. It doesn't necessarily have to be instant, but kind of like an RS3, they have those dungeoneering things. You know what I'm talking about?
Resource areas. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, those things.
But if they did that for sailing, where you get on your boat and you pay a fee. Maybe you just don't pay anything because you have this sailing level, and you go to like a cave with black demons in it or something like that. Kind of far away. I don't know if you want to wait all the way till sailing comes out, if it comes out to do that. But I don't know, just an idea.
I hear too many people complaining about Slayer and not enough people posting on r/Slay Cringe. I'd really like to see more people post on that. But yeah, I like the idea of sort of resource areas, so the original room for Blood Veils is like a crack and you can pay a certain amount of GP or a certain amount of Slayer points to unlock it, do your task in there, rather than having to compete with a bunch of noobs that don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I do think having instance everything is a little bit too extreme.
Yeah, that's a bit OTT. Even having a second floor on the Slayer Cave or something that you can do other
fuck the Slayer Cave. I'd like to see the Brimhaven dungeon kind of expanded and
revive it.
Yeah, really though, like it's a big ass fucking dungeon that gets absolutely no love whatsoever. There's nothing in there.
And then the only time I'd ever go there was to do dog skip tasks.
Yeah. If they could remove the dogs, replace the...
Actually, fire giants were alright there for the time.
Replace the hill giants with... not the hill giants, the moss giants with something else. I mean, I think that they really need to look into fixing the Brimhaven dungeon to...
They can take out almost everything there, because everything there is in the... Anyway.
Yeah. That's why that's why it's so useless. I mean, if they could just...
There's also like a Slayer Cave in Fremenic and the kind of a pseudo Slayer Cave in Lumbridge. They could do like a basement to the Slayer Tower. There's a lot of other places in the game. They don't have to just expand.
But just do what I just read in the chat. Ace said, just do another Slayer Master with their own dungeon, like Kuradel on RS3.
You see, I don't know. Instead of seeing that, I'd like to
do it again.
I'd much rather like to see the Brimhaven dungeon revived. You know,
Old school's all about reviving.
yeah. I remember like many podcasts ago, I said that like Duradel should get his own cave, but then at that time I wasn't thinking about the Brimhaven dungeon because it does, like, no one ever uses it. You almost forget that it's even there, you know.
Wait, didn't they poll adding like black demons and blue dragons to Neve?
They were gonna put some of them somewhere. I don't know if it was in Neve's Cave.
That passed. Yeah.
You
Pretty sure
can
I'm
you
hacked.
cannot cannon the ones that are in Neve's cave.
I know.
So that might
there-
be
are they
good
there right
for
now?
the 3 people that you see in every world with like
Yeah, exactly.
wearing
they out right
sunglasses and have a DFS, no pots, killing black demons.
And a frog on the head.
Those
The back
kind of people might be moving into Neve's cave for that.
Surprised that isn't out yet. I feel like that'd be a pretty easy update if it passed. I'm pretty sure it did.
Just give Duradel
Well, they
some
did
love,
when they had
revive the
gargoyles.
Brimhaven dungeon. But moving on though, how have the 2K Total Worlds treated you guys so far?
I've not gone anywhere near 61 because it's American, and I don't really want to deal with the 180 ping I get on those worlds.
Yeah, I haven't even logged on to a 2K Total World yet, but it wouldn't really affect me anyways because I'm just doing agility right now.
Okay. There's like always people at the skilling areas, like at Chins or something. There's always someone there, so you're actually more likely to find an empty hunching area on a non-Bay world. So I normally don't really go on it, but I would if I wasn't doing something like that.
I have not logged into it. I'm loyal to World 46. It's been good to me. It's been good to me. So my place is here.
I respect that.
I hop to the world sometimes if I have like a Slayer chest just to see if anyone's there. Normally is, so useless to me. I'll probably use it when I do bank skills or some shit like that. But it kind of brings the nice feeling of like World 48 and RS3 back. Even though 2K, like I said, isn't too high, but it's better than nothing, I guess. You're talking to like higher level players for the most part, so it's kind of nice community.
Right.
Is
Nice community. Yeah, that's a good one.
Is slaying in a 2K world a
I
problem?
got a lot of love when I went to the GE, man. What were you saying,
Is
Ryan?
slaying in the 2K Total World a problem? Like, I kind of feel like it would really concentrate all of the players into the efficient areas.
Well, I had like a greater demon task, and I thought that task isn't too often. Like people don't get it too often, so I hopped, and there was nobody there. So I don't know. Greater demons are freaking hard to find during the day.
Oh, okay.
Open world.
All right. So moving on there, if you guys haven't already, will you ever go for a month record?
Well, I probably can't because I work too much, but even if I did, I don't really could see me ever doing something like that. It's not really something I would do. Like, for me, when I play RS, I more try and beat my own records rather than try and beat other people's records. But, like, if I had the time and the money, then sure, I would, but I just can't see it happening.
The only record I really did, I wouldn't do it to try and get the rank 1 in it or anything, just for personal achievement, was a 26 mil agility month, which is like 430 hours or something that I did in the first month of summer with about probably 17 hours of work a week something,
Fuck.
which I just sort of did because I was enjoying agility at the time. I'm content with it though, whether I'll get a better one remains to be seen. I've not really got the time to, if I stick with agility to 180 or whatever the hell I do.
Yeah, even if I were to go for one, which I probably wouldn't, it wouldn't be that impressive at all, and I don't even think I'd be able to take the #1 spot. And it's just too much of a time commitment to have like pretty much a whole month where you can play ridiculous amount of hours. Is pretty rare nowadays.
For me, it's not really my play style. I've tried to like go for like week records. I don't really enjoy month records at all because literally just destroys the entire month. You don't do anything. You don't leave your house unless you want to get like rank 10 record or something. But it's just not my play style. I'd rather do what I want and then just play RuneScape for the rest of the day or something like that. So not something I'm looking to do at all. Maybe day records, that would be kind of fun. That's about it.
I'm not. I wouldn't say that I'm going for a month record, but in the next like day or two, I'll have the record for most Herblore XP in a month, which has just kind of happened. I've never said, all right, I'm going for this month record. I'm gonna dedicate this many hours a day to be able to accomplish it. I've gotten a couple of month records. All have been beaten since, but it was never something that was just on my mind. I need to get number 1 on this. I'm gonna try to get it. I don't think I'll ever like go for one to the degree like Trance when he did his one in January. I don't think I'll do anything like that ever. Alright. What has been the worst update to Old School so far, in your opinion?
We're gonna all have the same opinion, aren't we?
I think that's why he's put a disclaimer next to the question.
A disclaimer of
I'll
not
do this
Nightmare
else.
Zone.
Okay, no Nightmare Zone? Then what about Zura? What about Wyvern?
Well,
They're the best.
Alright, the worst update
they're the
ever
best
that
and the
would be-
worst. Yeah.
The worst was our Dark Beast buff. It was absolutely disgusting. A disgrace to level 90 Slayer. Like, what the fuck are they thinking? Break even off that piece of shit task.
Yeah, I thought that update was extremely underwhelming. Feel bad for the 2 people out there who made Dark Beast alts in preparation.
Oh my god. The worst update besides NMZ? That's a difficult question. The one that immediately came to mind was the biggest flop, that boss Slayer, because it's pretty much useless. I'm sure there's a better answer, I just can't think of one.
Okay, this is a prediction, and I predict that the Slayer assignment rework will be the worst update.
I really hope it's not. But it could have the potential to really make Slayer shit or just way too fucking OP.
Okay.
For me, I'm gonna go. Now I know Zora is both the best and the worst update, but I think from a prestige standpoint, it's really had a negative impact on a lot of skills. Like construction is doubled in XP per hour. It has made Dartscape a thing. Like fletching is now 0 hours, and farming seeds are half the price. That's really damaging on the game. I'll go with that.
Plus, it's easier to do mahogany tables than oak doors.
Oh yeah, it is a lot
Way
easier.
easier.
Well,
See,
go on.
go ahead.
Well,
Alright, Trickool, say something.
Yeah.
Well, despite spending 2,300 hours of my life on it, I'd have to say both the player design content updates, I think they both had detrimental impacts to both agility and mining, and made the skills a little less prestigious than they were if these weren't to come into the game. So purely dog for agility and just quarry for mining. I think they've had a negative impact on the prestige some skills carried at the start of the game.
I would probably say, well, it's not really an update they've added, but not fixing splashing, because I think it looks really bad to new players when you log in and you just see these people splashing everywhere, and I don't think it's a good start to a good introduction to the game to see that you can just gain XP while being AFK. And it's not like it's hidden like Nightmare Zone either.
I've given up on that shit. Don't bother fighting that shit no more.
The struggle continues. One day we may win.
Nah.
Gotta wait on the data. Alright. Fixed or resizable, which do you use?
I'm always on fixed. Yeah, I've tried resizable like the first day, and I don't think I've ever turned it back on. But I do use the zoom. I'm either, depending on what I'm doing, and like if I'm hunting, I'm zoomed in all the way, and if I'm anything else, I'm usually zoomed out all the way, just because I like seeing more things.
I use resizable because I don't use a monitor from 2007. So I like to be able to see things.
I very rarely use resizable just for any skilling method that makes it more convenient, like granite or something like that.
I use resizable. I'm used to using it from RS3. I used to always play on fix when resizable came out, but over time got used to resizable. So yeah, I use that. I probably always will.
I've always been in fixed, even prior to 07. Always been in fixed.
Old school feel?
I don't know, it's just, I like it. It's very compact. I want the screen to be smaller, not bigger. So I like just
Gotta make
sticking it in
room
the
for your
corner
10
and
alts.
leaving it there. Never really used the zoom feature because I don't use OS Buddy. Might use resizable when I come around to do fishing or something, but I don't know. I like fixed too much.
Yeah, I use fixed. I always have the zoom on though. Like if I'm bank standing, I'm zoomed in as much as I can, and on like farm runs, I'm zoomed out as much as I can. I did try resizable a couple times. Even tried it while bank standing. I just don't like it.
So that's quite interesting then. So as far as I'm aware, only Alkan and I are the ones who have played a decent amount of RS3, and we're both the only ones who use resizable.
Yes, I played a decent amount of RS3 and just I got used to the old school fixed client.
Yeah, I do remember when old school was announced, I played RS3 for like a week before it came out. And then when I first started playing old school, I was like, how the hell am I going to get used to this screen? But then I go back to resizable and I can't stand it, so.
Yeah, same here.
I wouldn't mind resizable if I can like hide the chat boxes. It takes up like a quarter of your screen at least.
Yeah.
It takes up the whole fucking screen to me, so I just can't handle with that anymore.
I could definitely see myself moving on to resizable when I do other skills though.
It's kind of convenient too, just to have a smaller screen in case. Well, I don't have two monitors, so like on the side I could watch something.
All right, moving on. What items in the game do you think should be easier to obtain, and what items do you think shouldn't be as easy?
I'm not prepared for this question at all. Skip me and come back to me at the end, I think.
Shit. I'm in the same boat. What items should be easier to obtain? There's not really much that should be easier to obtain. I mean, everything as it currently is pretty fair and balanced, in my opinion. Not as easy to obtain as the harder one, though. I have no idea.
Okay, easier to obtain? I can't think of anything that should be easier to obtain because I think things should take time to earn. Okay, yeah, the requirements for... Wait, what? No, the requirements for Zora should be increased.
I thought you were going down your funny route of mahogany planks, magic logs, dragon bones. Okay.
Because
Oh,
Zora,
man.
the requirements of Zora are way too easy, so that should be harder to obtain. Access to Zora, and all that crap. I mean, I don't know.
There should
Also
be a
just
death challenge at the least for Zora.
Yeah.
The whole execution of Zora was just such a fucking...
Here we go. I didn't want to do that, but I had to.
I still don't know why you keep your items.
I think that a fire cape should be a lot harder to obtain than what it is. I mean, if people are getting this shit in under 30 minutes now, I think that is no time at all, and it's such a great cape that it should take a lot longer or be a lot harder than what it takes. I don't know of anything that should be easier to obtain, though. Herb supplies, there we go.
I guess I agree with the fire cape. They should make it where, like, when you fight Jad, you have to also kill other monsters while you're watching his prayer. Like, switching prayers, like a fucking 5-year-old can do that. You shouldn't be failing at that. Maybe once in a while your hand might slip and you might screw up, but if they made it where you had to, like, look at other monsters and kill them while you're watching Jad's attacks, that might be more of a challenge than just focusing on just Jad, I guess.
Okay, so because I don't like this question, I'm going to reword it slightly. So, like, in a perfect world, we'd have no bots, right? But then that will have a detrimental effect to the economy. So, like, should those items be kept at the same rate that they are now, or do you think that it's right for them to be made harder? I'm interested in your guys' opinions on that.
Like D-bones?
Yeah.
There were no
Like-
bots, D-bones would be like 4k each.
No, they would be more
Would you
than
be
that.
okay
They
with
would be
that?
more than that.
No, I would not be okay with that.
That
So yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
I'm okay with the bots that bring in supplies.
but he's saying like, you can't actually think that's good for the game.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
'cause-
yeah. I mean, it's not good for the game. I understand that. That almost maybe brings up that should D bones be easier to obtain?
That's what he's saying.
Hell yeah. Way too
Probably.
high.
You know when they
Hey,
when
mahogany
go ahead.
planks and shit. Like mahogany planks drop from bosses. No, did in increments of like 20, right?
Yeah, you know something that I really wanted to see on this Dark Beast drop table buff. I wanted to see some kind like Dark Beast bones. That
Oh, the ashes, the infernal ashes from RS3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
is that a thing?
Well,
They
it's like
drop- they
heavy
drop-
demons.
They didn't drop
Zones,
them in
but
RSD, but they were a thing that were dropped by demons.
Demons.
They dropped ashes
Yeah.
instead of bones.
Like black demons drop them.
Oh.
Yeah.
You could make bank from that task if you had like I don't know.
I think that would be
Yeah,
kind of cool. I
Cursed Urns, though.
feel like people would be up for that, honestly.
Yeah.
Happy Demons also dropped them, didn't they?
Yeah, they do.
But I was
Yeah.
wanting to.
Rank
s-
Reels do
like,
as well.
Maybe,
lower
maybe
tier
smoke
one.
devils too. I'm not sure. Well, I guess they're- I don't know.
Necreals
I
drop
can
them as
see
well,
them
but
doing it.
no one
Black
does that.
demons. Right.
Yeah.
But I was really wanting to see like Dark Beast bones that give in the around the same XP as Dragon Bones did. But
They still need the
Demons.
buff Dark Beast in my opinion. Like that was a really bad buff.
yeah,
It was not a
it's,
buff.
it's kind of comparable to
It
the
shouldn't
Caliphate Queen drop table buff. I believe that drop table has been buffed 2 or 3 times,
Yeah.
and
I think they forgot that like you have to pray a Dark Beast. You can't just tank these things. So like there goes your profit right there. Like did they not think about that?
yeah, I don't know.
Plus that
I
would
think
give
they were
some
too
use
worried.
for P-pots. Since Zero doesn't even use P-pots, you can use bots of Dark Beast at least.
They were too worried about all the Hexis flame.
I think they really.
They probably were. worried
They
about people
probably really didn't want to overdo Dark Beast. I think it was a really passive. They went about it passively. They didn't want to make it a mill an hour. You know, it should definitely be rebuffed. Now, I was fine with it not having anything done to it, but then when they started talking about getting it buffed, then I was in favor of it. And now that it's already been buffed and it's still shit, I guess I'm okay with buffing it to where it actually makes money.
I just don't like the idea of a level 72 monster giving more GP, well, more reward an hour than a level 90 monster.
Yeah, that was my issue.
Would you factor any bit of the AFK ability of Dark Beast into that? I mean, you can really AFK those fuckers. You could take a shower during a Dark Beast.
Maybe a bit.
Aren't
It sounds
Wyverns
something.
really AFK? Or I don't I've never really done
They're AFK to the point where, like, you don't really have to click on the screen much, but you will die if you are not paying attention. Because if you're doing it
Well, I mean, you
efficiently,
will
you're
die
not.
if
You're
your
not.
prayer drops.
What?
If your prayer drops a Dark Beast, then you're fucked probably if you AFK for like a minute.
Well, I believe Trickool has said in the past that he's done Black Demons, and you said it was 7 minutes
Take
that you
fire
have.
and go for a shower.
You have 7 minutes.
It's 8 and 40, I think.
Yeah,
Wait
Wait till prayer
40.
renewals, man. That's gonna be like 12 minutes.
but at Wyverns, like, you don't overhead, so, and they hit really fucking hard, so you'd You die if you took a shower at Wyverns. You wouldn't at Dark Beasts. But alright. Moving on though. What are all of your guys briefly elaborate on your thoughts on sailing, and will you start training it right away upon its release? I would definitely do it. Not going to try to be first to 99 or anything like that, but I'll definitely train it when it comes out right away.
I'll be training it more from an OSBuddy dev perspective, going, can we make a decent plugin out of this? So I guess I'll train it, but no, I won't be going for top aid.
If it's anything like Dungeoneering, then yeah, I'll definitely be doing it right away. It's be enjoyable if it's like that.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I really enjoyed Dungeoneering, and if it's anything like that, it'll be fun.
A little bit.
You don't even mean that either.
You're great.
The more and more they elaborate on how summoning is going to be implemented, the more and more I hate it. So I'm going to be voting no. Right now.
Oh yeah, I guess for those who have already answered, after reading the 3 dev blogs that they've come out with so far, what is your current stance? Yes or no?
Yeah, definitely no for me.
For me, it's a no. After the 3rd one, it was a no. The first 2, I was kind of on the fence.
Yeah, I'm a no for it now.
I haven't read them yet, so rip.
I haven't read the 3rd one. It left me on the fence for the 1st and 2nd. There's something in the 3rd one that's like detrimental.
Shipbuilding.
I was like fully against it when there was the whole multiple people doing it in PvP aspect. Then I was on the fence of it on the 2nd one, and then the 3rd one I jumped right back off the fence. Like, just no. To the point where I actually changed my name for a month to fuck sailing. Just to promote.
I know some people are concerned that it'll be like a more expensive farming. Like you just basically go and check on your shit for the XP.
Yeah, that's what they kind of said.
Check on your shit.
That's what they kind of said in the last...
Well, you gotta wait for it to fucking grow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have workers.
You pay NPCs to make it, you come back and check it.
What the
They're
fuck
done.
is that?
That's what it said in the dev blog.
Yeah, I really hope that's not the case.
They should make it so you can only have one ship at a time. That way you can't just like farm ships. It's so dumb.
I really hope that the best XP of it is navigation, not... Yeah.
The current feeling I'm getting at the moment from all of us for sailing is just abandoned ship.
Really want to kick you from TS for that. Alright. Do you feel genuinely happy or have a sense of accomplishment when you achieve a big goal of yours, or do you feel relief because you don't have to grind that goal anymore? Trance?
Andy? I thought you were first.
I was.
I don't really set goals. I just kind of log on and what I feel like doing. I mean, obviously, if I get a 200 mil, I can't really train it anymore, or I won't train it anymore. So that's kind of a goal, I guess. I mean, I feel a sense of accomplishment when I'm having fun. So yeah, I guess my goal is to have fun.
I'm kind of a goal-oriented person, so I do have a sense of achievement when I finish the goal, but it's not really long-lasting as it used to be. And also, I do feel a bit of relief in not having to grind it anymore, but that's only for skills where I don't enjoy or I basically have to do for max total.
For me, like with everything in life, I've been more of a forward-thinking person. So like, even when I go out shopping with my parents, I like to know the order of shops we're going to. So for me, like, the idea of achieving a goal, it's not, oh, I've done this goal. It's, oh, what's next? What's happening next? Like, I don't really care about achieving something. It's like where that's leading to that I care about.
Last thing I achieved was Max, which was 7th of December. I kind of felt happy, but at the same time a bit disappointed. And I know the same's going to come when I finish Agility. I'm going to feel just kind of upset that it's over because I've sort of developed an addiction. I'm going to not really know what to do with myself once I finish working towards it.
It's a common phenomenon with agilitiers. Notice.
It's just... Yeah, I'll
You know,
get
we just
200
make a new
mil, say I'm
account.
doing something else and just burn out. I mean, there's a pretty
There needs to
good
be like
recent
a
case study of that,
a
isn't there?
self-help group for agility burnout. Your thoughts on that, Trickool?
Pardon? Sorry, I wasn't listening.
There needs to be a self-help group for agility burnouts. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
you need agility rehab. You should do that with your last 10 mil XP and just leave it and keep going back to it when you're just really craving it rather than doing it all at once.
That's not a bad idea.
I'll set it up, agility rehab, let's go.
Jesus.
When I'm going for goals, I have fun doing it, and then once I achieve it, it doesn't feel like as much of an achievement, I guess, because I don't know, knowing that you can do it easily, then it doesn't feel as much of an achievement. I would say when I look back at like my ranks in RS3, because like the rank of what you are in 200 mil kind of judges like when you got it. I guess I'm more proud like of 200 mil Slayer because I know most of it was pre-EOC for me, as opposed to now it's like 220k experience an hour. So I feel an accomplishment that I did most of my Slayer before it became that fast, but having 200 mil Slayer doesn't make me feel accomplished at all now because of how easy it is. So that's kind of how it works for me with like those type of goals.
Now, I set a lot of goals and have always got kind of like a game plan of how I want to play, and I don't really think that I have much of a sense of accomplishment when I achieve a goal, and I don't really have any relief when I get that goal either. To me, is like for the last 4 200 mils that I've gotten, it's just been like, all right, on to the next one. Like thieving, when I got 200 mil thieving, that was the last time I guess I felt like I had a sense of accomplishment. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just on to the next one. And on to the next question. So, do you think the creation of Dartscape was for the better?
Yeah. I think more so that CML calculates its bonus XP was a lot better than just having. Oh, I can't explain it. Yes, if you multi-skill.
I think no. It's so fast,
Yeah.
and the fact that this one item has made it feasible for just about everybody to get 200 mil fletching just from darts is kind of just shows how OP it is. And I don't know. It's like the blowpipe. And just, again, Zora's fucking OP. Alright? Zora's fucking OP. I mean, how much... Sorry. How many hours has Zora shedded off 200 mil all?
Thousands.
Making
Thousands.
including making mahogany tables
It
viable.
saved at least 900 from fletching.
Clutch.
Yeah.
Con used to be like 480-ish. No,
Yeah,
it's
480-ish. And it cut it in half.
Wines, too, right?
yeah,
wines.
wines. That cut
Yeah, it
off.
saves a lot
it's
of
like-
money, at least.
That cut off at least 100 hours.
Yeah.
What else?
Got it.
Well, farming obviously made it cheaper.
Farming,
so.
what's
Just convenience.
saves time for money?
But it's cut off at least 1,500 hours from 200 mil all. with that one update. Alkan, what is
for
the
me,
Fletch XP per hour, like maximum Fletch XP per hour in RS3?
For broads,
For whatever method
Uh,
gives
well-
the most XP.
well, you can do like dragon darts, but it's very expensive. But you can't manually do it, you have to-
Realistically.
Yeah, there is no
broads.
manual.
Yeah, you have to you have to let the game do it for you. There's no manual clicking type of shit. So I think it's like 650k an hour with all the bonuses for fletching or something,
Wow.
and it's relatively AFK probably. Yeah.
I guess the AFK part about it makes up for being that kind of XP per hour. Now, doing Addy darts, which is realistic, one can get 3 mil Fletch XP per hour. Doing Myth, you can get like 2.2 mil XP per hour. And Steel is like 1.1 to 1.2 mil XP per hour. And as many people know, I did 33 hours straight of darts for 60 mil XP, and that shit is fucked up. Dartscape was not for the game. I mean, obviously, a lot of people are benefiting off of that, but it really just ruins it ruined fletching. I don't think it was for the better at all.
It did make it so you had to do more like repetitive skilling because it's 0 hours, right, for fletching basically. So
yeah,
you have
yeah.
to, like, be more efficient with it rather than just like AFKing mage longbows, which isn't much of an achievement to be honest. So.
Yeah, but that's the first like 5 or 6 people who did get 200 mil did do it that way.
Sucks
So
for them, of course.
I mean, they lost more than 1,000 hours because of that. But yeah.
Did make it more of a skill though, rather than just like an AFK skill.
Mm-hmm. All right. Apparently, Australian servers have been talked about more frequently on Reddit in the last week. What do you guys think about them still not offering servers for a large group of players?
I think it's a bit ridiculous. I think considering RS3 has had Australian servers for a long time, it's not like out of the question to give old school one. So I don't really know what the big deal is.
RS3 has a few of them actually.
It has
4 or something, or
it
3?
has Australian and New Zealand.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
It also has Malaysia. I'm not sure though.
Malaysia.
Well, yeah, I think it's pretty ridiculous that they haven't stepped up and gave Australian players servers, but I'm really hoping that there's something that's stopping them, like some big issue, and they're not just being dicks or don't want to spend the money.
I want to wake up one day and every world is an Australian world, and now all of us can play with 300 ping and see how long we last. Because it's just pretty appalling that such a large part of the community hasn't really got means to play the game to the same extent that we can with specific servers. I know there have been problems with the Australian servers on RS3, so maybe that's something that restricts them. But apart from that, I just think it's just not selfish. If you're Australian, you still play the game, you must really love RuneScape. I couldn't play with 300 ping.
Now, back in 2013, I didn't quite fully grasp how many players in the Australian area actually played RuneScape. So I wasn't really sure how I felt, but obviously over 2.5 years, you really kind of get an understanding that there really is a lot of fucking people in Australia. Like, you've got America, Europe, and after that, then it's the Australian region. Like, they need to get some fucking servers.
Doesn't just apply for Australians either. I think the whole question should be means for everybody to play with decent ping. I know Brazilians suffer a lot with it as well.
Brazil, from when I talked to Reach many months ago, on TS. He said that Brazil. He said something. Trance, you remember? He says like you'd be surprised how many people from Brazil play the game and applied to be like the QA tester. You remember that?
I don't remember that.
We've
But
got fucking 8 of them in the CC or something, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But I never hear any Brazilians complaining about their ping or anything like that.
they're not that far from US or
Still 200.
probably about the
MS
same
lane.
distance to US as UK, maybe slightly closer to
Yeah.
the East Coast US. Yeah, probably a
Still
little bit closer to
200
the East Coast.
ping though for like the highest quality server they can get their hands on.
Is there any reason that they've said that they can't get Australian servers?
Money, probably.
RS2
Data.
doesn't give a shit about old school. Probably.
I
is.
can't see it being a money thing because it has to be profitable. Like there'll be a reason, but like from the outside looking in, it seems like it's a really easy thing to do. But I bet there's like some internal politics or some like infrastructure reasons why they can't do it.
Yeah, they really need to fucking do it. All right. Do you guys have any pet peeves on RuneScape?
Oh man. I'll do an RS3 one since you guys will probably all do an old school one. My biggest pet peeve that I've been noticing lately is when there's people going for like 5.2 build XP and they didn't really like do it properly, as in like they didn't take care of their farming early enough, because it's kind of like a limiting factor and like divination with cash. And then you see those people like buy the XP with spins for like the skills that were like the remaining factor. I'm like, how is a skill a remaining factor for you if you're just gonna buy the XP for it? There's no such thing as your limiting factor, because I mean you just buy the XP at the end of the day anyways. That's getting on my nerves, to be honest. A lot of people are buying like divination experience instead of doing cash because they're buying XP for like other slow skills, and it's making it so it is their limiting factor because they're buying so much XP that they're getting 5.2 too quickly as far as achieving that goes. That's my biggest pet peeve at this point.
Not too recently, but just in general, disconnecting is kind of annoying. But it's been better recently.
Oh boy. For me, it's the amount of players that are so goddamn reliant on OS Buddy. I really
It's so
annoyed with
good.
like people just can't. After an update, people just cannot function without all of the plugins with it. It's
I joke around when I say that.
I think it's embarrassing that you're like, oh no, my features aren't working. I can't play the game. It's just
Dude,
it really rubs me the wrong way.
let me speak for myself and all the OS Buddy faithful out there. Playing on the regular client is good. You know, RuneScape is still good. Playing with OS Buddy is fucking great. You know it.
Well, I guess my biggest pet peeve on RS would be the inability of some fucking people to hop at skilling resources. And I don't know what it is, but they just refuse to fucking hop no matter how easy the game makes it with the World Switcher and then the OS Buddy client. They just can't fucking hop.
Oh, I got people crashing me because I'm using a cannon on a Slayer task. They're like,
Yeah, that must be annoying.
So I was going to say something else, but now the gloves are coming off. My biggest pet peeve are the people who are non-believers and OS Buddy for life.
Yes. Tell him, Jord. One pet peeve that I really have is like Can said and Alkan, like if you're not using a cannon and you see someone slaying with the cannon, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
it's irritating, man.
Alright. What is something in the game that you like to do even though it isn't strictly efficient? I guess I banksted and did darts because I liked doing that. You know, As Rigandu said, it's like you're just playing a piano. I kind of liked that. That was pretty fun. I know that Trance does one farm run a day because playing the long game, it's more efficient than two. But I like...
No, not for you. You have an alt. It's more efficient to only do magic trees if you have an alt.
I like...
Honestly, you shouldn't even do palms.
I like doing palms. I like XP.
He likes that fast
I
XP.
like the XP. Give it to me playing short-term game here.
Okay, go ahead.
Which one were we on? Alright, I guess for RS3 I was starting to want to like go for boss pets eventually, even though they were like somewhat inefficient to go for, but it still gave you decent experience. That's probably one of the things that I'd like to do. For old school, I want to get like at least the Slayer boss pets, possibly DKs, but it's such a waste of time, but I might consider doing it in the future. For fun, I guess.
For me, it's red chins and nature runes. Both like, I guess nuts. You could still think of them as efficient. I mean, I do them efficiently. Like,
What's the difference between red chins and black chins? Like
it's
XP per hour.
Like long term, like 155 versus 170.
Oh, that's not that big of a deal, but I guess it
You
adds up.
can imbue while doing
Yeah,
red
keep up in you
shins.
with reds easily.
Yeah,
Blacks.
How close are adding in the imbue? How close are they in like efficiency percentage? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, with the imbue,
Like, have you factored that? I'm sure you
Yeah,
factored that in.
even if you
0.08.
don't do reds, you can still imbue all the way to 200 mil. So you shouldn't really think of it that way, even though technically you're getting the HP for it.
It's possible to fletch there too. Well, I guess something that I enjoy in the game that isn't strictly efficient, it's not efficient at all, is just doing any type of PVM with friends or real-life friends, doesn't matter who. And also, I used to be a big PKer, but not so much anymore, but I do enjoy PKing with my friends every now and then.
For me, back in RS3 days, it was I got a trimmed completionist cape, which involves like multiple months. But for now, like being an OS Buddy dev, I can just type the word Shazam and it will give everyone in the area who doesn't have Pro free Pro, and it's just pretty funny just watching people's reactions when you do it, and they're like, "What the fuck just happened?" So yeah, that's pretty fun to do, which I guess is a bit different.
Have they ever logged out when you did that? Because they probably thought that like they started the bot or something.
Shazam!
No.
That'd be funny.
That's pretty cool. All right. Who are some upcoming skillers that we should keep our eyes on?
I would say Oi, but he burnt, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I think a really talented player who does not get any attention at all is Daniil Alavao, recruit in Hexis. Really fucking good at blackjacking, really fucking good at fishing, and dude's a beast. I guess that's more of a underrated skiller than an up and coming. But yeah.
I'm going to talk underrated. I think SOTG or Valini, as well as Ging. I think they're two that are...
They're not
Thingy.
up and coming.
I know. That's why I said just underrated. I didn't say up and coming. Also, Oi, but yeah, he died. How can you burn out from agility, man?
Tom.
Well, it's kind of hard to say who's up and coming, especially during the summer, because you never know how that'll affect their playtime when they have to go to school or something like that. And to be honest, I don't really know.
I don't really know, to be honest. I still think it's way too far to start judging with like that type of stuff, because people eventually burn out. As far as like RS3 goes, there was like 30 to 40 players that were a lot higher ranked, but they all burnt out eventually. So it's too early to tell, to be honest, with old school. Considering it takes even like what, 30,000 hours, whatever the hell it is.
It might be down to like
Jake was
25.
ranked for ages. I don't think he's 5.2.
I Forsberg patch one.
Alright. How many times have you guys quit RuneScape? And elaborate why and when on it.
I think the last time I tried to quit RuneScape was when I started university, and I was like, okay, I'm moving away now, I'm not going to play this game anymore. And then within the week, I was back playing RuneScape, so I may have tried to quit, but not for long.
The meme lives on, you never quit RuneScape.
Yeah.
I guess I've technically quit twice, but I didn't really quit, I just worked on a different account.
So you were still
first-
playing RuneScape while you quit?
Yeah, but I quit on the account. I didn't play on my main for like 8 months. I made my newbie account and maxed it, and then like 4 or 5 months I spent on old school on my main account. Those are the 2 only times I took time off my account, I guess. Played on different accounts, so. Yeah, I never quit. Fuck it.
I've quit quite a few times, really, but the more major ones, it was more because I became more interested in a different game. Like, I remember I played Call of Duty for like a good 2 years, and I think it was like midway through old school, I did the same thing. But the biggest and most long period of time where I was not playing was during EOC.
How long were you off for?
Until the old school servers came back.
Oh wow. Alright, moving on. Do you guys think that we should... Now, this was polled and failed, but someone submitted the question anyway, so do you guys think they should allow us to use bonds, to change our names? It can be done in RS3, but what do you think?
Jags allows... I don't think so, because, well, that's kind of a greedy way of thinking, but I use it for membership, and I really don't want it to increase anymore.
You can do it on RS3 anyway, and I think it's a bit weird having bombs be allowed to do things on the RS3 and not old school, which makes sense. Like, obviously not things like treasure hunter keys or whatever, but name changes is something that old school players want to, so I don't know, I just find it weird that it's not a thing.
Do you think that it would increase the price of like the in-game price of bonds if that came out? I mean, bonds are like 2.4 mil right now.
Slightly, very slightly.
Like
Very
like
slightly.
100K, 200.
Not
Who the
even
hell
that,
wants to
probably.
spend 2.4 mil every day to change their name?
The thing it will affect more is the people who GP swap, they'll get less money.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Something called like inflation being a self-fulfilling prophecy that I learned in economics, and so basically, if people think it's going to increase because of it, it probably will.
Oh yeah. Self-fulfilling inflation. I like that.
Boom.
I just like them to be as minimal as they could possibly be. So they are membership bonds. They are not bonds. They are just membership bonds. And I'm really happy that the community did put their foot down when this was polled and said no. We don't want any more microtransactions. You strong-armed us into getting them in the first place, and now that we have got a say, without a dick up our ass, say no. We did say no. So, yeah.
I don't see a huge deal about it. I mean, I get people are afraid of like bonds doing more things, but there's a big difference between changing your name and buying experience. I mean, people might vote for change your name, but they're not going to be like, okay, well, if you can change your name with a bond, then you should be able to buy XP with a bond. Like, that's never going to happen. But I wouldn't be so afraid of that change if you can just change your name. It's not anything like buying experience with bonds. It's just... So I don't really care if they do it or not. I play both games anyway, so it's not a big deal to me.
Alright. Here was my favorite question that was asked. I was streaming a few days ago, and someone told me to kind of elaborate on the story of Hexis, of like how it began and like the early history of it.
Gather around, kids.
Gather around, let me tell you guys about...
Then I shall begin.
So, from what E-Fire, the previous leader, the only other leader of Hexis, his name was E-Fire, and he claims that Hexis was created before Old School, like a couple weeks before, during the time of like when the hype of Old School coming out was coming. He said that he created it then with a group of friends, and so I guess you could say it was made before Old School. But when Hexis first came out, it was kind of just like a newbie clan. Like, we would let people in who had like any 99 at some point. Like, I was a member with just 99 Hunter. I remember that, and we kept increasing our recs over time, and we changed it. It was like, first it was like, if you had a 99, you could get in. Then it was like, I think if you had two 99s, you could get in. And then it was changed to time to max rank. And after we started seeing a whole bunch of people who were like single skill players hanging out in the CC who technically didn't have the recs because they were just doing agility or cooking, fishing, or mining, things like that. We voted to change it to just EHP, which is how we still use it today. But in around October 2013, E-Fire started runecrafting, and he asked me for the runecrafting AHK that I use. And I gave it to him, and he started using it. And about a week late, now I had already 91 runecrafting at this time, and obviously I had used it for 150 hours or so. No, and worth noting, this was before WETH started, so they had an automated system back then, which I will accept was flawed. But after about a week of runecrafting, E-Fire got banned temporarily for botting, and he said, "Hey, it's false. This shit is fucked up." And we know that the system wasn't perfect then, because like Ginge was even banned one time before, and his was just a manual ban. The reasoning was a period. But okay, so like in October, E-Fire got banned. I think it was for 2 weeks, and around mid to late December. Now, he was a great leader. He was really good, but he never used TeamSpeak or anything like that, so that really wasn't good. But I was always in TeamSpeak, and I was in like July-ish, June or July, I became a Gen. But alright, so let's move on. In like December-ish, when I was more active on TeamSpeak, there were a lot of players who did not like that he was leading, and Dobbs wanted me to co-lead Solus with him. This is way, like, we're talking 2013. Dobbs was thinking about making Solus, and he wanted me to lead it with him, but kept staying in Hexis. And then in January, E-Fire got banned again for botting, and he this time it was permanently banned. His account was gone. John C was a Hexis member at that time, and he was still actively playing Old School, and Jonathan was able to get E-Fire's account looked into, because obviously E-Fire is claiming, you know, hey, it's a false ban. Let's get this shit settled. And then Jonathan said, no, you botted, you're banned. It was looked at. And, like, there was already a lot of people who were not liking that he was leading at that point. And, like, that shit was kind of like the last straw. And then a couple weeks later, he resigned. And I've been leading since. So I guess that covers the the age of infancy in Hexis. So yeah, I mean, I've been leading for like more than a year and a half now, and it's been great. But those are the early times. I don't know, it was probably the longest that I've talked at a point without.
This story changed my life.
If anyone ever has any questions about Hexis history, just feel free to ask me. And I mean, my shit is like a library up here, so just feel free.
Should highlight that part. That's for anyone who missed it.
It's you know, we've really come a long way from being a group of people who wanted to play efficiently on old school to where we are today. But alright, moving on. Alright, what do you guys think about insuring pets before you obtain them as a GP sync idea? Hold on. I know that I'm last on this, but I really don't like this. I was reading the question. This is the first time I've read the question. I don't like it at all. I think that'd be kind of dumb. Yeah. It's not really a GP sync. You'd insure it when you got the pet anyway. And
it could be more money though if you insure it before.
Yeah, but how many people are really gonna do that? So like,
why would you insure something before you got it?
Well, hey, I saw.
The wilderness ones for sure.
I saw on Twitter there was someone who got a spider pet and then got PK'd before they were able to get out of the wilderness, so they lost.
And then they
that
got
shit
one
is
the next
heartbreaking.
Is that your girlfriend right now?
No. Ask old school Scoop. They might think it is though.
Yeah, I think this is really dumb. It should have risk involved with so that's a risk you take when you go in the wilderness and do bossing.
I think it would be better if you could pay like a protection fee for like the next 100 kills or something, and then that would like be like an actual money dump.
That'd be cool, to be honest.
It wouldn't really act as a GP sync when you consider how much money is coming into the game by the Crown Bishop and Zora and all that jazz. And
it's still technically a GP sync, though. You can't say it's not a GP sync because there's so much more. You just said it wasn't.
It's not effective. It's not effective.
Yeah, it's not really very effective.
There you go.
And they're gonna say it's a GP sync and be like, all right, we got a GP sync in the game. We don't need any more GP syncs.
It's not a GP sync. It's an idiot tax. Who's gonna insure something before they've got it? It's like putting down a deposit for something. It's just silly.
If I was going for wieldy boss pets, I'd probably pay 1 mil for every 100 kill count to ensure that I get the pet and not lose it right away. I would definitely do that.
I think that takes away the whole risk aspect of the wilderness boss pets. Just sort of compromises the whole point.
The funny part would be if
you're choosing GP sync over risk, then I guess.
The funny part would be if you're halfway through a trip and you're on your 101st kill and you get it, and then you die straight afterwards because your protection had just run out.
Yeah, I don't really care either way. If they were to implement it, I wouldn't be totally against it, but I would probably vote no in a poll.
I wouldn't say it's an idiot tax, though. It's not that bad. But, alright. What are your guys' favorite skills? And why?
Hunter, Slayer. Hunter was my first ever 99, and Slayer is just fun and varied.
I like agility, mining, rune crafting, and construction the most.
Are slow skills better than fast skills? Smiley face? Bad prawn face?
Yeah, sounds alright.
Right.
On old school, my favorite skill was probably agility, and then on RS3, definitely dungeoneering.
Room crafting.
Player, even though it changes a lot, but I always enjoyed it.
I really like Slayer a lot. Back when on my old account, I think summoning may have been my favorite skill, but on old school is Slayer. Alright, now what would you tell your past self to do differently that pertains to RuneScape? Like if you could go back in time and tell yourself one thing, what would it be? Oh, Trickle's dead. Go ahead, Jordan.
Back when I used to be a staking addict, on the last day of my addiction, I would have told myself at the beginning of that day to stop. So I wouldn't have lost everything, but yeah, I guess that would be it.
Well, I guess it depends if I was informed, like if I was able to inform my past self about
go ahead and inform yourself. What would you tell yourself with the knowledge you have now?
I would have probably told myself to wait on a couple of skills like Hunter because they're going to be updated. There's a lot of skills I would tell me to wait on.
I would tell myself to buy party hats. On RS2, of course.
I would probably have told myself to buy like 1 billion Zamorak spears before they could become Hastas, and to buy like 1 trillion Zulrah scales when they were 25 each the first couple days. I had like 500k scales at 25 each, and it was pretty cheap to use, you know. I mean, the helm was like 8 mil and scales 25 each. I would just tell myself to invest in items that eventually ended up getting really high in price like that. Or I would tell myself to just not play when old school came out.
That's the smartest option. I would have not taken so many breaks from my main account, probably. It'd have been higher than rank 4. And I should have cashed out and bought an Audi and just became a dicer.
Hey, you said you would have told yourself to not take as many breaks on your main. Do you think you would have been able to be #1 had you...
I did a bit of the math, but it's hard to tell because the game became easier over time. But
yeah.
I took about 14 months in total of a break from my main, playing on my different account and then playing old school, so... I mean, Drumgun only beat me by like a few months, but I mean the game obviously was harder back then, so would have been close, to be honest.
Personally, I just encourage myself to start imbuing with skills earlier. I've only done it with agility, and if I'd done it whilst I was going for max, I would have had a lot more magic XP than I do now.
Alright, one more thing to add. Brews on RS3 used to be like 50 GP for 3 dose, they're now 16k for 4 dose. So,
Fuck.
yeah, I would have bought like 1 million of those, man. They rose about a bajillion%. I don't even know.
I want to change my answer to be similar to Alkan's, and when I was considering buying a dicing rank to be less of a pussy and just do it.
Yep. I could have made bank, god damn it. Could have been
You should have just
rolling
sold
with
out
my
and
Audi.
advertised on your videos.
Basically, I had a lot of
Definitely gone
opportunities
rank
to
one.
be a dicer in any friend chat I wanted, but I always just declined. But yeah, a few of the people I used to talk to made like 500,000 from just dicing. They now do other shit, I guess.
Alright, moving on. There's been some Twitch streamers who have admitted to real world trading, and apparently they have not been banned. What do you think about the general streamer favoritism, and do you think it is unprofessional on Jagex's end?
There's thousands of people who real trade and don't get caught. And
But how about the...
they don't ban people for admitting for real trading. Like even if they looked into it, all they would see is a person giving their friend 60 mil. So, are you gonna ban somebody for that? No.
I think that's why they ban people that sell money more than people that buy money, I think.
Yeah. When
a
someone's
lot
giving
easier
away
to track
60
someone
mil every
sells.
5 minutes, then yeah, you ban that person, but...
I don't know who exactly was admitting to RBT not getting banned, but I think they shouldn't really act on that. They should act if they have like actual evidence or like in-game chat messages or something like that to ban them instead of just word.
I think that if you break the rules in real world trade, you should be banned. But, alright.
I missed myself, didn't I?
Yeah.
I think it would be such a good job of them if they were to actually take a step and ban that YouTuber or that streamer in general, and it would really just set out a good tone to everyone else that does it. Because everyone's always going to use the excuse, well, Bodhi got refunded his guthins when he died at Galra's Dungeon. That will never die. That will be there forever. And that's just such a huge punishment to everyone else, and it makes the company look shit, it makes them look unprofessional, and it will always be there and set in stone forever that he got refunded because he's friends with JMods or he's a YouTuber or streamer. Horrible way to go about it. Just say, sorry buddy, our servers are shit and you lost stuff just like everyone else, that's it.
Yeah. Alright.
Just makes me think of Pizza Man, who lost his pizzas and got them back.
That was disgusting.
Why?
Alright. Here's one of the other topics that I liked a lot. It was give a random shout out, or give a shout out to a random Hexis member. I'm giving mine to 420.
Ace.
Kushladora.
Hi, Randy.
I don't... Alkan? Yeah? I don't know. Everyone in Hexis has one.
Clayton.
Alright. So, only because I thought this was kind of funny, it was, someone's doing a poll. They just want to know what your favorite color is. Mine's purple.
Red.
Yeah, orange.
Green.
I'm not answering that question in case it's a security question somewhere.
There's the poll.
Mine's orange, I guess.
Alright.
But no, in honesty, mine's purple. Like, yeah.
Hey. Alright. What do you guys think OS Buddy can do to improve their client, and what extra features do you think they could add to be nice and helpful? I mean, that's cannon placement thing that Alkan was saying. Fantastic idea. What else do you guys think?
Oh, my idea?
Hey, that was good shit. I gave you credit too. Come on now.
First thing that comes to mind would be screen markers.
Being worked on.
Yep. Cool.
Boxes for agility need to be bigger.
I'm happy with that.
My answer would be, like, there's too many toggles at the moment, and I'd like a better way to do the user experience to make it seem less... Like, I think it's too overwhelming at the moment. I'd like to be able to find a way to just make it a bit cleaner in a way.
Yeah, like what is your
Like,
vision? I guess.
Too soon.
I don't know. Like, I just want it to be a lot cleaner and easier to use, but yet still have all the functionality it has. It's like, it's a hard thing to answer.
Someone, I don't remember who it was, brought up a really good idea where the current hunter feature with the boxes and it says when they're going to be dead or whatever. It's
Took
like,
mine.
yeah, there's a certain amount of time, I think it's like 10 ticks, where they're just going to fall and nothing's going to go into them, and it would be nice to update that.
I tried looking into that, but I didn't have a clue what was going on.
We can help you out with that, like afterwards or something.
Okay.
I don't use that. You avoid saying something rude.
I don't know if I can think of one. Randy, you go. Wait, you already kind of...
No. Yours was really good. You already said yours like an hour ago. But one thing that I would like is to be able to. Now, you did say you don't like all the toggles. I would like to be able to toggle all of the farming things, because like when I log in, let's see, it's got like your unknown herb at Falador has died. Like your watermelon is ready. Your compost bin is ready. I would like to be able to toggle it to where it's just the trees, or just whatever. Like, I'd like to be able to pick what things I get alerted about.
Should be fairly easy to do. I didn't write that, but it sounds easy.
Oh, one thing I thought of is a way to export your monster drop tables to have like this big mega drop table of everybody uses a Buddy has all their drop like very very accurate drop tables.
Watch this space.
Alright, cool.
Ooh, something getting worked on.
I mean, like, in a similar vein to that, we released the, like, your personal GE history recently, which is a fuck ton of data that we saw.
Oh yeah, from six months of data.
I was impressed. That was crazy.
That was awesome. Alright, should we move on? Alright. What RS3 player, either currently playing or retired, do you wish had made the transition into competitively playing old school?
I didn't really follow him much on RS3, but he did play 07 at the start, and I wish he'd followed through with it. Was definitely Foot. I think he was one of the only players who did stand in the way of Jord getting the rank 1.
Oh, he would have beat him.
Yeah, he would have easily beaten him. I'd also like to see Yosumin play a bit more. He seemed to have done a little bit on Iron Man and then just stopped, and he's on RS3 at the moment. I speak to him a little bit, but...
Who is it?
Yosumin.
Oh, yeah, he plays Iron Man.
He was the best in 99 Farm. I'd like to see him stick around
he's
a bit
doing
longer.
it really inefficiently, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, he just AFKs everything and watches
Yeah.
anime.
This is the easiest question on podcast for me. The answer is Zarfot. Like, he's just the best Iron Man.
Yeah.
I wish Alkan hadn't burnt out as many times as well.
Ooh. Hey man, like, that goal was 8 years. I'm not gonna give up on that. I had to go back.
I guess I'd say Suomi, even though I totally respect his decision to just like play the game really, really casually from a newbie perspective, which is kind of how the game is meant to be played anyways, at the start at least. But it would have been cool to see Suomi kind of go hard in old school.
I hate to repeat another answer, but I would have really loved to see Foot beat Jibrim to max, or at least be neck and neck with him the whole time.
Put up a fight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna also copy another answer. I would have liked to see Swolmy. I obviously didn't play when he made his climb, and all I hear is how great he is and was, and it would have been nice to see what he would have been able to do on old school. But
Randy, if Suomi played, he wouldn't be the donation king anymore.
Oh!
It'd be a donation war, man.
20k plus.
I guess I'll go last in this one. Yeah, I would say Suomi for sure. I'm glad that Forsberg went over to old school because I knew that he was killing RS3 and I wanted to see if he was going to do it with old school. So I'm happy he did. He also took all your ranks, GG.
yeah.
Anyone else that I can imagine? There's a few of them that actually are playing. Crystal Farm is playing old school as well. He has about 450 mil XP. His accounts Pizza Hut. You guys might have seen him on the high scores recently, with like cooking and
Is
shit.
he the one with the space or without the space? Is that the
space? I think with the space is like his friend or something. I believe.
Oh, okay. Seen him on CML.
He might be. I think he's going for top page on old school as well, which he will eventually get. Someone called Carcass has like 45 mil rune crafting on his ult. He did it for like to make money, but I think he's going for trim now on old school or on RS3. So he's not gonna follow through with his account, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see everyone that finishes 5.2, to be honest, to go over to old school and give it a shot. But that's just me.
Recent player who just got 5.2 bill paper bag apparently came over. Not sure what
Yeah,
account
but he's
on
playing
that.
very little. I don't think he's going to play competitively at all either, he said.
Alright. So, who is a player that you really looked up to back in the day when you were a noob?
How far is back in the day?
As far back as you want. It could be the beginning of old school.
You would actually be Suomi just because, like 2010, 2011, 2012, when I was playing RS2, I used to just really love his videos. And I don't know. He's like a cool guy from his videos. And I like that the rank 1 player made videos. That was really cool as well. And commentaries and everything.
Yeah.
For RS3 it would be Suomi. It was just nice to see how the rank 1 played, and he had a video of him cutting Dragonstones on double XP weekend, and he'd open his bank for a second and you just see he's got like 107k Dragonstones in his bank, and you just be like in awe that he's got so many. As for 07 though, definitely Jebrim. Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go with in the early part of old school, because I didn't really pay attention to shit back in the day. I will always make sure the legend of 07 Green Wave lives on. He was like rank 4 or 5 in TTM, and in July, August. Now, as I said earlier, the system was really flawed, and people did get false banned. And he used that kind of AHK back then. That would be like, alright, let's say, like for doing Herblore, he would just like use probably like 15 fucking buttons on his keyboard. And like it would be the same exact movement every single time. It would be like click bank, find like the item in the bank, withdraw, use, move to inventory, and then do that shit. But he used AHK for like every single action that he did. People give Trance and I a lot of shit for how much AHK that we use. He used a lot more, and given that they used an automated system back then, not...
Wait, who are you even talking about?
07 Green Wave.
Oh, I've never heard of that name. But
I need to make sure he lives on.
I thought you were about to say Drary or something.
No. He false banned after like 7 months into old school. Rank 5 TTM. Rest in peace.
I don't want to give the same boring answer of Zarfa again, so instead, I used to be in a clan with a bunch of high-ranked people, so probably give them a shout-out. So, Allah/Asiwat, Simon, and Talmo Marks, I guess, those 3.
Oh man, the memories. I remember all of his names. I would say Zarfot for sure. I think he changed efficiency in this entire game. It wouldn't even be a thing at this point. That style will always be like my idol as far as XP goes, because I mean, he's the reason why every one of us probably are playing efficiently right now, realistically. Probably about it, to be honest. Just Zarfot. Oh, and Ground's a really good player as well on the RS3.
Yeah, I think he's very underrated.
Yeah, very underrated.
Going back
But
to the
coming
question
up with
of players
efficiency.
who went to 07, I'd say I'd like to see him go. But he
I
says he
wanted to
really
see
hates
Drary
the
as
idea
well.
of it.
Drary was doing really good in old school and then he quit.
Drowns.
Yeah, Drowns and Drary though. Drary was
Yeah.
doing really good in old
Drowns
school.
said that he didn't like old school because it was just a case of who could do the most AHK.
Yeah, I think he
in
did
the
say
idle
something like
community.
that.
Well, yeah, I did really look up to Zarfot in the beginning and all his different efficient skilling methods, but I really started going more toward a skilling mentality when I watched someone named River Spar's videos. I don't know if you guys remember him.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, well, he kind of turned me on into the
Ooh,
whole,
it turns you on.
Wait,
yeah,
say that name again.
Please keep it safe for work.
dude, he used to make some really weird videos of, like, I think he was really high and talked about just random bullshit, but he did bring me into the whole skilling scene.
What can you say that name again?
Aberrant Star.
Yeah,
Oh, that guy. I
He had a
remember.
40-minute video about NMZ, not NMZ, sorry, CMI.
I remember a story of him saying before that he left hook his mum at a party for some reason.
As you do.
Yeah, he was really weird as an individual, and I know, like, back in the day, he was kind of disliked in the high-level skilling community. I don't know why, though.
He brought players down a lot. Like, he didn't talk highly of too many players. That's mostly why.
I think he was a bit of an attention seeker as well.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't around.
Sounds
really
pretty
the high-level
familiar.
You.
I just took Green Wave, like, I'm not going into detail. Use your imagination. Alright. If you guys had the chance to play, like, 18 hours a day without any, like, if you had no other commitments and you were able to play 18 hours a day, would you do it?
So my question would be, what type of lifestyle would I have? Like, is money an issue? or not?
Let's say money's not an issue, health isn't an issue.
You stay jacked the whole time? Then yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know if I'd want to play that much. I think for me, if I was able to play without money being a problem or any commitments kind of getting in the way of like a school or a job, I think for me, maybe like 12 hours a day would probably be what I'd go with. Leave, like 4 or 5 hours to do some other things, but would not want to do that long term. A week, sure. A month, a year.
I don't like setting alarms, so I wouldn't want to do that.
To me, that sounds like Burnout Escape fucking Central, and I definitely want to do it.
I get surprisingly bored.
Yeah, I get bored and just fucking do nothing and just.
I get
I don't-
fidgety as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I
randomly
need to
I'm
go
doing
out
8
at
hours
least
of
once
agility,
and do
I'll go and
something.
walk my dog.
Yeah, I mean,
Even handle it.
for how much all of us play RuneScape, it's amazing. Like, for me, like, I don't want to do the same skill 18 hours a day, but I'd be fine doing it for 12 hours in a day. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of weird to think about.
There's only one next time.
Only one. All right. Moving on. How do you guys think the Abyssal Bludgeon will be used for Slayer and PVM? As in, do you think it will be efficient to use on some things?
What is it? Is it Crush?
Yeah. And it has like a stack spec.
You'd always stick to the SGS for spec, I think. As for Crush, the only monster that comes to mind being weak to Crush is Gargoyles. That should be a block. If summoning came to get Crimsons, maybe for Water Fiends for the Crush, but I really don't know. I don't know, I've not looked at it at all.
Well, in terms of PVM, there's a couple of monsters that are weak to Crush, and I think it may make Vedion, or Vesh, whatever the hell it's called, somewhat viable, but it really depends if it can out DPS Avarix on some of the wilderness bosses.
I think efficiently, no, but people will still use it just because. Isn't it going to be the best in slot strength training weapon?
Yes.
Yeah.
So people will use it just because of that, even though it's not efficient. People will use it
Yeah.
a lot, and it will be expensive.
Yeah, I have the same opinion as Trance. People are going to use it because it's best for strength. I mean, I still see people using Sarasaur thinking that it's the best for
Yeah.
strength. So,
Yeah.
yeah, people definitely use that. They see it's the best.
Did you guys also see what this motherfucker looked like? It was like...
Yeah.
Someone please find the picture of it on Alfred's Twitter, I think. Alfred or Ghost's Twitter. It's like some...
Ghost.
Who did I say?
That Alfred, but it was Ghost. who did it.
Okay.
Did it on stream.
Dude, it's like an octopus tentacle that is 15 feet tall. It looks.
It's supposed to be a spine.
It looks.
I think it looks cool.
What? I think it looks absolutely horrible. It
doesn't look old school at all.
You find the link for it and post it in the chat. That shit looks just horrible. I think.
I don't know. I'm really fond of like the really old school, unique kind of designs.
Yeah. Alright. Trance.
Yeah, I think it looks cool.
Oh, fuck it.
Legend?
Yeah, fuck it. Alright.
I don't even know what it looks like, so I can't even judge. I think I saw maybe a picture of it, but I don't know. Are you talking about like the actual weapon or the demon thing?
The weapon of it. Here's a link to it right here. Kind of to put it up to scale and size as well. Kind of see what it looks like.
Oh.
What do you think about that?
It's the same size as that?
Yeah. Yeah,
Almost?
that's like up to scale.
Is that? Are you gonna hold it like that, or are you gonna hold it like a sword?
It's a two-handed weapon.
Oh, okay, okay. That's pretty cool actually. Then I don't know.
I just think that the top, it just looks way too fucking top heavy. I don't like it.
Yeah, I guess so. But that's kind of the design of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the bludgeon at the end of the day.
My only problem
looks
is
like
it
a
doesn't
scythe.
look like it can crush anything. Like it looks more of a slash type of thing.
At least it's not like a fucking Dragon Hatchet Inferno ads type of thing. Like, fuck.
Before I was complaining about not enough detail. Now I'm complaining that there's too much.
Salty.
Just look at
There's
the
there's
stuff
no
that you
pleasing.
tell me is
I
my
have to
watch.
complain no matter how good or bad it is. All right. Theoretically, if you obtained 200 mil all, what would you do after that?
Agility.
I guess if I hadn't already completed all the pets, I would do that and just basically kind of do a completionist style gameplay.
Yeah, same here, probably pets, but I mean that wouldn't take more than a year probably, considering how much I'd probably play. So
exactly.
I wouldn't quit. I'd probably make a new account or something.
Hey.
Exactly.
I'd probably start playing other games full time. I guess I would probably be. It would just be too much engraved into my head. Don't play the game if you're not getting XP.
Wait.
So I don't think I would make another account.
Would you guys try RS3 if you finished old school?
No, no.
Probably not.
That is a good that is a good question. I wouldn't. It for me it's. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
What about like Iron Man or Dead Man?
I'm actually considering on one of my alts AFK into.
Don't say dead man.
Oh, hold on.
You mean Iron Man,
I
right?
might do 200
Oh.
mil fishing on Dead Man on an alt, just because it's gonna be
Yes.
300k XP per hour in AFK. I like XP. And
Wait, that means you should definitely enjoy RS3 because that is the fishing rate on RS3. Fuck you talking about?
dude, but I'm really kind of thinking about doing that, especially since they said it won't be like any extra cost for membership to be able to do that. So I've kind of been entertaining the possibility of 200 mil fishing and woodcutting on Dead Man. Because, I mean, you can keep 5 skills without losing XP, so... I mean, the 3 skills from fucking... fishing and then woodcutting, fire making, I guess.
I'd just make a new account, do it again. I have considered trying it for Iron Man, but it takes around 20,000 hours as well, so that's a long time.
That's a lot.
Like RS3 Iron Man. People are very like hypocritical against like RS3 Iron Man. They think it's like the same as the RS3 main, but it's very different in a lot of ways.
Alright. So, when did you guys kind of like realize that you wanted to start playing a lot more, getting a lot more XP, and setting bigger goals for yourself? Like, either whether it's a 99 or a 200 mil.
There wasn't really a point, and that I don't really set goals. I just log on and play. I don't know. I don't know how to answer this.
Yeah, I never had a point where I realized that I want to gain large amounts of XP, and I really even haven't had large amounts of XP, but to keep myself motivated for going towards like larger goals, like 99 rune crafting or something like that, I usually just envision myself at the end, something like that, think about the end goal.
When I first joined, it started off with getting 99 in a stat before a certain, time. I had to calc out how much I had to play in order to reach my goal, and then it just sort of 199 turned into, getting 399s. That turned into eventually getting maxed and up to where I am at the moment. But I'm still in the same boat as Trance, where I find myself logging in because I'm having fun rather than endlessly slaving trying to reach my goal that I've set.
For me, I guess when I first maxed with like 2376 total, I was like rank 150 or something back when I was like 15 or 16 years old, and I just kept working on skills that I had decent XP in, and I eventually got up to like top 100, and it felt pretty cool, so I just kept going, and the nerdiness just kept growing. Now I'm stuck here. Yep.
For me, like, I don't really know way back in the day, but day one of old school, I set a goal for myself to get all 99s, so I guess right away for me, when I was in the process of getting max total, I wasn't sure if I'd play after I maxed or not, but still having fun, so still gonna play. But for me, it was right away when I started playing old school. And I'm not sure how many of us have done some black chin hunting, but what is your opinion about getting PK'd while you're doing them? You think that's a turn off? What do you think about the people who PK you?
Oh, I'm first on this, aren't I? Fuck. Well, since I have experience from fishing, I hate it. Fucking sucks getting PK'd. But I guess risk and reward play in factor there, so I mean it sucks, but it's normally still worth it. But since I guess you have like red chins, it's not too much worse. I think I'll end up doing the red chin method, to be honest. I don't really mind that much of a difference in XP.
Yeah, it's definitely risk versus reward. Not much else to say, really. It's not as bad as like RTPKers because it's not really a good rune crafting alternative. At least for like making money that's not Abyss. And you don't get like any loot from killing RCers. Whereas killing chin hunters, you actually would get loot if they didn't drop their chins. So it's like understandable that you would do that for money.
Wait, how do you guys feel if black chins were like say 300 key hunter an hour and then it was festive with PKers? How would you feel then?
I would be.
That's too much to a jump.
Well. Let's say 225k an hour, which would be quite a buff. If it was, that would really fucking annoy me. I mean, I don't really like black chins either. The whole point of like being forced to go into the wildy to achieve maximum efficiencies does not sit well with me. And if it was even that much better than red chins, I just think that would be way too stressful to me. Wouldn't like it at all. But I think I would just force myself to still do them just because they're better XP though. That wouldn't be fun.
Well, in terms of actually getting PK'd at black chins, that's annoying, and then when I went for 99, I only actually got PK'd once, and that was because my dumbass forgot a glory. But I enjoyed anti-PKing there, and the whole purpose of adding black chins in the wilderness was to rejuvenate it, so I guess it's just a game mechanic you have to live with.
Yeah.
Don't people still
With
splash when they do Hunter though?
Yeah, you can. But
It's-
Man, that should be
Splash-
like that's taking away the risk.
Splashing on yourself is worse than hunting red chins. If you
is it?
if you splash on yourself and do black chins, you're a fucking idiot and should be at reds. I've seen.
Wait, why is it worse?
Huh?
Less experience?
because you can't spawn trap the chins.
Yeah, I've seen
okay,
some
okay.
streamers who have splashed on themselves doing blacks.
It's funny because they think that like with blacks, I appreciate that it is the wilderness, but there's a fine line between PKing someone for money and just teams and full max magic just going and ragging people.
You're
trying to
telling
hunt.
me, man. I had like over 10 people in max gear hunting me in fucking black beehive. I'm just fishing. Leave me alone, bitch.
That's not the main turn off for me though. The main turn off is that you're skipping out on imbue and it's easy to do with reds. Really gonna say no to a free the 22 mil magic XP that you could just do with ease with reds. I think it'd be a lot nicer to just do reds with imbue like yours doing at the moment.
It's
I think
a
blacks
lot more. I think the
Links,
PKers for me are the biggest turn off.
Yeah. But I like to keep up the imbue.
Alright. Are you guys happy with the current state of old school RuneScape?
Absolutely not.
Elaborate.
Chill out, mama.
Please.
Nightmare Zone is still not fixed. Splashing as well. The inflation from Zulrah and the Karamja store had just been completely ignored, and Wyverns. I don't know how they're still ignoring this. I ranted about this like a month ago on the podcast. The amount of inflation coming from Zulrah and Wyverns and in combination with the Karamja store is ridiculous. I can't even imagine how much GP coming into the game from the Battle Staff drops, the Rune Ore drops, the Addy Bar drops. Is that it? In terms of like just raw GP drops?
I thought you had a list prepared.
No, I just saw this question right before you asked it, so... yeah, I really, really think that the inflation... It's not something that you see overnight happen, you're like, oh, this needs to be fixed. Something that happens slowly, but it's very, very damaging to the economy, and I think it's going to be a huge problem.
I feel like he's had
very
nightmares
soon.
about this shit, man.
Yeah, man.
One day he woke up and
I really
everything.
think this could actually just, like, kill the economy in old school.
It's just something
Like, it's
that
not a
really is
joke.
going to bite them in the ass because they just
Yeah.
put everything off. Like Nightmare Zone, oh, we're not going to do anything about it. Splash, we're not going to do anything about it. Inflation, though it's not really noticeable short term, long term, we're not going to do anything about it until it's too late or just everything's too fucked up.
You would think that the J-mods think long term because, I mean, the sooner it goes down, the sooner you lose your job, right? But they don't even think like that.
Yeah, they're always
They
talking
just
about
don't
the next
think,
thing.
period.
Yeah, they're always
They're
talking
always
about the
talking about
next
the next
thing.
thing.
It's like, fix the things
Next
first,
thing,
you
hey,
dumbass.
I had a tweet. I don't know if it was a week or two ago, but they have their several dev blogs on sailing. They still want to do Zaya. They've got Deadman. This two Slayer bosses still have not come out yet. The Slayer assignment rework. What are some other big things that they have planned? I mean, they've got a lot on their fucking plate at once. They need to slow the fuck down. Their eyes are too big for their stomach.
It's also not good because after all that happens, then what? Like,
Yeah.
no updates for a year
Yeah,
or what?
There was we recently had a priority poll, and high level skilling content, I believe, was number one on there. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. And we haven't heard a damn thing about that yet. You know, when are we gonna hear about that? Shit.
The two things I want to see. Number one, I want to see them hire a new game engine developer, because if you watch the stream, a lot of the things they say are blocked by engine. And the second
Hire a
one-
new or hire an additional?
An additional, sorry. And I would like to see a change to the polling system, because although I think some things work with the voting system. I think some things just people vote for themselves and not for the game.
That's like almost everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard for most people to not vote for like their benefit. Like most people vote no to bond update because it's gonna make the price go up, and like a selfish vote. But it's hard to not vote selfishly.
Well, aside from the very obvious inflation from Zora, Nightmare Zone splashing, all that junk, I mean, I'm happy that Jagex has a whole poll system and all that, so aside from all that BS, I guess I'm happy.
I personally wouldn't care if they allowed splashing if you had to use like death runes or blood runes. I'm sure, go ahead, waste like 50 mil on mage. I don't care.
Oh,
At least it's a good money.
That's kind of interesting.
I would let that go. I wouldn't even care. It's a huge money sink, and I doubt many people even do it because it's expensive as hell. Then.
Yeah, because I mean, right now, mind runes are 4 GP each, and you get...
The whole shop update fucked that over really hard, too. They should have not put mine packs in there. That shit would be like 100 each.
Oh, man.
May as well just use, like, chaos.
Yeah, I can't imagine what the price of it would be. But, for me, I'm content, but always complaining. Kind of what Trance said, there's a lot wrong, but I don't think we give enough credit to the stuff that is in the game and is good, you know, so I would say I'm content. I wouldn't go as extreme as Trance into how fucked up I think things are, but I'm not going to give it as much praise as some others may. I'm okay with it right now.
I'll give a small list of good things, which are pretty cool.
Go ahead.
I can think of. I think stamina potions were like one of the most amazing updates as far as like giving the rest emote and like how you rest and you get energy. That basically got distinguished just by putting in stamina potions, which worked out perfectly because you need super energy still.
Yeah.
So it didn't destroy that price, and you make money from agility, which pretty cool, I guess. I think the tentacle whip thing is an amazing update. Besides the whole actual piece now being like 300k and it's never going to go up again. That was a nice whip sync because whips were hitting like 1.2.
They were under that. I remember.
Yeah. I mean, inflation made them rise, but they were going below 1 mil pretty damn soon, and then the whip thing came out and they hit 1.5.
When I was in the process of slaying, like in March, April of 2014, I had like 12 whips or so, and you know, selling it on Zybez, and obviously there would be people who would undercut you as well. You know, they see I'm selling mine for $1 mil. Oh, he's gonna sell it for 900k, and then I remember distinctly there was one guy who was selling like 5 whips, and he was undercutting us all, and he sold it at 850k each. I bought 5 whips at 850k each, and I think it took a day, and I sold them at like 1 mil, 1.1. They were really fucking cheap, so that was a good update.
There's a few more. Like I guess the Zamrock Spear update was amazing as well. It actually gave it a price. They've done a lot of good things, but they like the things that they fucked up on had a huge impact that you can almost look away from the good things that they've done. It's just so bad.
Yeah, like I've always thought that Zora was a pretty high quality boss, the way you have to hybrid it and stuff like that, but it gets overlooked because of the insane rewards.
Yeah. They really should have made it follow the same path as like Arax, where you can only camp like a few kills and then they all get harder and harder from each kill. So every day at reset, basically, you kill like 4 or 5 Zulrah and then you can't do it or else it gets too hard. They need to follow that path with like the next boss that they release that's like that.
Yeah.
It would also keep the price of like things their price, you know?
Yeah, and I don't know what the kind of a stigma they have around like fixing what they fucked up on, and I don't know why they just don't do it. Like, it seems like they realize that they messed up a lot of the time, and they just don't want to go back on what they've done. I don't know.
They don't like admitting their mistakes ever. I mean, what company does that? But I mean, it makes them look much more mature and professional if they show the mistakes they've made and they fix it.
Yeah, exactly. I always thought it'd be more professional of them to just say, okay, we messed up, let's fix it, you know. But I think they believe it's more professional just to ignore it.
Alright, who in this high-level skilling community would you say carries the most influence, whether that being directly or indirectly?
Definitely Foot, because if he changed,
Hey,
well, okay, he's not.
I don't know why you're laughing.
He's
That's
not
a really
active.
good point. I wasn't even thinking of that. That great point. Go ahead.
Not
Go ahead.
active, but if he changes the rates, like when he changed, bringing to 0 UHP, it really affected how people played the game. It really does. The way the rates he sets for CML really does affect some people's play styles, and yeah, big influence.
I think both Randy and Finbar have pretty big influence over.
No, you do have a point. You do have a point there. What do you think, Jord?
I would say Finbar, as he runs the top skilling clan in 07 Kappa.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Joking. I don't know. Yeah, I'd agree. Like the top skilling clans, obviously, like they carry the most weight, so their punch is the hardest. And also like the skilling people who stream, because they're the people who influences the voters, right? Like to change things.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of sheep will follow. Vote for GE, put it in the game. Vote for Deadman, put it in the game. Those kind of people, I think. Sorry, Alkan. Those kind of people, I think, have the.
Hey, I don't do it often at all, man. I try not to. The only
when
time
you
I
make a
fought for
video-
that was when they said spins for Iron Man. I was like, "Fuck you, idiots!" And then it actually got questioned, and then they took it away.
I think that those kind of people really have like the most influence because, I mean, they speak and a whole lot of fucking people listen. So, yeah.
They're basically like the media, right? Like, and people just listen to the media.
Yeah. It's kind
Kind of true.
But I will also say Foot definitely carries the most influence to the certain player. For sure, like as Trance said, if he changes a rate, you're probably going to change how you play.
But here's something for you, Randy. Right? You enjoy the GE.
I
right?
do. It is
How
great.
happy
It
was
is
that
great.
Spartan that
Hey.
said vote for GE?
I didn't say
How
having
happy
I
were
didn't
you
say
that
having
said?
influence was a bad thing.
I know. I'm just saying, like, it kind of, just kind of looks funny, right? Because if he says yes, vote yes to something that you don't like, you probably hate him then, right?
Yeah. So,
Hypocrite action.
no. Like it's just who do you think has the most influence? It's not. Do you like that people have influence or not?
Yeah, I think the problem isn't the people who are influencing; it's that people get influenced so easily.
Yeah, like it's
exactly.
nothing negative on the influencer. You know what I mean? Shit. You can't help that everyone's going to listen to what you had to say. That's still their choice to do what they do. But if you tell them to vote for something, then they vote for it just because you said to vote for it. Then you've got a lot of fucking... Like, your voice carries a lot of influence. That's a lot of power. With great power comes great responsibility.
Alright.
Moving on, motherfuckers. What would you say was or is the golden age of RuneScape?
Oh man, when free trade was not in the game. Fuck free trade as far as competitive skilling goes. Think about how much better all your lives would be if there was no free trade. Trance, you keep recrafting those nature runes, man.
I actually really liked it when free trade wasn't a thing, because
There was no
Yeah,
cheating,
trade
there was
limit
no
was quite
boosting,
fun.
there's nothing.
yeah, people were just.
It was
nicer.
almost like Iron Man, like it's just everything yourself.
But like for me, the actual golden age was like when Dungeoneering was just released, like pre-Gatestone. That was my favorite time in RS.
I'd have to say February 2013, just a fresh start for everyone on the same, well, until GP swapping, on the same sort of square, just everyone starts fresh, new economy, just the game was empty and it was every man for himself. It was really...
Would you have preferred old school to come out with like no free trade though, or with free trade? How would you have felt competitive
I was always a fan of trade limit being there just because it meant that You know.
Some people even have rank 1 con right now.
Yeah.
Hey, it only happened because it had happened to someone else. You know, like.
Yeah, I'm just joking, don't worry.
You just out donationed them.
Yeah, pretty much.
The golden age of RuneScape for me personally, when I had the most fun, was like, I'd say around 2000. What year did Turmoil come out? Does anyone know?
And
Whatever year Turmoil came out, it was probably the most fun for me.
2011 probably, or 2010, around there. Maybe. I'm not too
Yeah, I
sure.
think it was late 2010. Had a lot of fun PKing and doing things like that.
Definitely 2005 to 2007. I feel like at that time, the way people played the game, including myself when I was that age, was more
The way it should
casual. Like, yeah, the way it actually should be played. We're playing it that way at that time. That was the golden age.
I think right now is. Oops, it's not my turn, but I think right now for me is like the golden age. But I would say like overall though, I thought the game was really fucking good back when I was playing way back in the day before Hunter was released. That I don't know, you know, I was still kind of like a noob still.
You're taking my answer for the next question.
Oh,
Oh, I see. But I don't know. I think like right after Construction was released, I'd say it's probably one of the golden age periods of old school, or not old school, just RuneScape in general. But yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that a lot for overall RuneScape, like the golden age of RuneScape itself, because like with the current old school like RS and RS3, there's like a big split in the community that I think kind of limits how good the game can be.
all right. Alkan, what do you think the golden age is?
Oh shit, I went first on this one by accident, didn't I?
yeah, you said when
I
it
could have
trade.
sworn I saw my name first. So okay, that was mine then.
Oh,
My
all
bad.
right. Let's move on then. So, what do you do to entertain yourself while playing? You playing other games, on TeamSpeak, TV shows? What are you doing?
Just about everything you could imagine is what I do. Playing on a different account, watching shows, watching movies, talking to people on Skype or TeamSpeak. Yes. I would recommend definitely watching TV shows. Movies are great, but TV shows, if you can get into one, that's a nice like 100 hours of RuneScape you can go through easily.
Yeah, TV shows definitely. Movies, I really like movies. A lot of music. I listen to a lot of music.
Kind of music.
What kind of music?
Trance. And I also play Hearthstone, which you guys can add me if you want. Just
Anytime you see Trance streaming, he's looking for people to play with.
yeah, my BattleNet tag is Trance #1173.
What's with
I
the
play Hearthstone,
numbers?
with the
His bank
BattleNet,
pen.
His pin number.
Oh, okay,
yeah, it's just like your ID tag.
okay.
You don't get to pick the ID
Like
tag.
cattle.
Yeah, but anyways, I play Hearthstone like an hour or two a day. I like playing it, and the expansion's coming out tomorrow, and I'm excited. But I can play, like I can play without like actually losing ticks in RuneScape, even if I'm hunting or runecrafting. So it's like half the time you're just waiting for your opponent to move, and even when it's your turn, you can kind of think about what you want to do while you're playing RuneScape. So I really like it.
I just do everything that was really listed. I do sit in TS quite a bit, watch TV shows, Reddit,
That's part nuts.
all sorts.
Cam?
Well, I pretty much do all the same things, just watch TV shows, talk on TeamSpeak. I don't really watch too many movies. I really kind of enjoy getting into a TV series.
Like for me, like I can't watch a TV series unless I think it's really, really good. So like I used to watch a load of TV series while playing RuneScape, but now like every TV show I seem to try and watch now, I just think it's terrible. So like, I don't know, maybe you guys could recommend me something that you guys like.
Game of
really
Thrones.
True Detective.
True
Good. Yeah,
Detective.
but here's the thing that now like everything you say I've probably already seen.
Sopranos?
I haven't seen
Hey,
Sopranos.
there's a really
so
good
many
show out
times.
there. Not a lot of people have heard about it or watched it. It's an HBO show called Ballers.
I was gonna say it's something to do with basketball, man. Probably some shit.
Ballers is a really good show, dude. It's in its first season right now, and it's really fucking good so far. But what I do is
Is that about basketball?
Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Ew.
it's a good show, dude.
Oh, is that the one that Dwayne started?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
I think I might have watched
cringe.
one episode of that. Is that where he like motivates people basically?
No, it's kind of like
RuneScape.
living the life of can't really elaborate on it much. You'd have to watch it, but I really don't ever watch any movies. I've really transitioned into being a TV show kind of guy, and always when I'm able to, watching sports. The last 3 months has been really dry since the finals have ended. I don't watch any baseball. Shit's a snooze fest to me. Football season's coming up here. It's going to be great. Every Sunday, Monday night, and Thursday night is going to be filled with a new third monitor that I'm getting. Is going to be all sports all the time. That's going to be fucking awesome. And then basketball season will be starting up, and every night I'm going to be watching a game, as long as it's not the fucking Bobcats versus the fucking Jazz, I'll probably watch it. But, you know,
That's a pretty unfair advantage, man. 3 monitors. Brad would not approve of this.
oh, dude, the third monitor's coming in about a week. I ordered this HDMI to USB converter, and just waiting for that thing to come in and getting that third monitor. And I play on a laptop too, so it's gonna be pretty cool. But
Wait, so is your laptop?
yeah.
monitor
So
or
like,
not?
I have my laptop, I have a monitor to my left, and I'm soon going to have another monitor to my right. So 3 monitors.
Cool. I also watch a lot of esports as well. That's something I've gotten into.
Oh yeah, I watched a lot of Hearthstone streams as well.
Yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube too. Different YouTube series, things like that.
Get your questions in now before the raffle's over.
First question we got is kind of on the topic of the competitive tournaments. What do you guys think about them trying to do more competitive things in the future? Do you think the PVM Cup should have a reward or something? I mean, take that in any way you want. You think the PVM should have a reward? You think skilling should have a reward? What do you think that they should do in the future with the competitive gameplay?
Well, I was a fan of the PvP tournament just because of all of the viewership that RS got because of it. And I would really like to see them just kind of have a better system, like a better commentating system, or at least like a different way so you can view like unique perspective of a player, because it was kind of hard to see what the hell was going on most of the time. I would like to see them reward different skilling cups or PVM cups or something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same amount, but some type of reward or incentive would be nice.
I think the reward was a bit ridiculous. I think they could have gotten away with giving like a year's membership to like the winners or something. Like, I think that people more wanted the title than they wanted the money.
People would have done it for free, man.
Yeah,
People would've
absolutely.
definitely
It's just the
competed.
prestige
It's
of
an
having the
ego
title.
boost. Of course you wanted that shit anyways.
I mean,
Yeah.
why do you think we were trying so hard as we did in the Skilling Cup? We don't give a fuck about the money. Just Let us have that
They just
ego.
want
Let's
their ego to be
walk
rubbed, man.
around with our number one fingers in the air. Fuck you all. You know, it's all it's all about bragging. Knowing now, 10K is a lot of fucking money. But if it was 100,
10K was just to bring in more
if
viewers.
it was $100, the real prize would have been the bragging rights. That's really what it comes down to.
$100 would have been an embarrassment.
We.
Yeah, they made like.
Well, I'm just using just a fucking like.
Imagine that on the page.
Or like a cosmetic crown or something. Like, there's so many things they could have done that people would have preferred.
If you get into the cosmetic shit, man, you would have too many people competing. With RS3 at least, man.
True.
Fucking seasonal high scores. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But I don't know. A selfish answer would be yes, give the winner of the Skilling Cup money, but I don't really think that they should do anything like that. Bragging rights are really more. Bragging rights and a statue, I think, are.
The statue would be all they need, man.
Yeah. I mean,
More than
teleport to Clan Wars, walk south. You'll see a statue with a character depicted after me on it. You know, it's
Like, money's the type of thing you give in esports events when you want people to start taking it seriously as a profession, but like that's not something anyone's going to be doing with RuneScape PKing anytime soon.
Yeah.
So like, it's just a really weird concept to give money.
Well, people try hard when they're peaking anyways, or else you die. So, like, obviously, money wouldn't be their motivation, realistically. Unless they're flat broke IRL and they fucking needed it, I guess. Then maybe.
If you were flat like IRL, I don't think entering a RuneScape PKing tournament is the way to go around making
Yeah,
money.
this ain't league, man. I don't think it'll ever be league.
right. Moving on. Possible different hosts for the podcast. You know, we had Case host at one time. I think he went AFK a couple times, which wasn't great.
I had technical difficulties from the start, didn't they?
Yeah. I would definitely like to see. I think I was talking to Trickool a few days ago about hosting this one, but I guess I forgot about that.
God.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. I forgot about it as well.
Oh, we both suck. But hey, perhaps we'll press one in the chat if you want to see Trickool host the next podcast. But I would definitely like to see a lot more people hosting it than it's, you know, a different kind of flow and feel to the podcast, I guess. Maybe some people would like it if I wasn't ever fucking talking, you know. So.
Aw.
But alright. What skill would you guys like to see have some mid-level additions and high-level additions that are currently lacking?
I think construction is too linear and should have more variance.
I'm really disappointed we didn't get a follow-up on this level 95 agility course.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
Gee, agility course.
Oh,
man.
Never followed up with that, did they? I was getting excited.
Me too.
I want to know when you
Agility
run around the whole
to
map,
do
man.
that.
That's a good question, actually. How would you guys feel of like a bonfire-esque thing for fighting?
What was that? What was that?
Someone really wants a fucking bonfire.
Was that Alkan?
That was someone in the background of Jord.
Screaming from the bathroom, bonfires.
That sounds,
It's just asshole.
that would be some shit I would say.
Yeah, it's someone who really wants bonfires.
But they were talking about doing a way to fish or hunt the Zoro scales. I think if that were like really bad XP, it'd be okay. Because that would be a lot of money per hour. Because Zoro scales are pretty valuable, so it'd have to be pretty
It
shit
would
XP.
also make them probably go down, though.
Yeah,
And
but
if they made it a method a lot of people do, like, let's just say monkfish, maybe, then
Yeah.
that'd be okay.
like 100k hunter per hour, like 40k fishing or something. Yeah, pretty low.
I think
Actually,
monkfish
probably
would
lower
actually
than
be perfect
40k.
for it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I do think construction could have a whole lot of more updates to it. One that I really want to see that I remember them talking about, I think I've said this on several podcasts now. Give us like a level 85 room or something where we can put a fucking altar in and change your spellbook that you're on. It's already been done for those tournament worlds. The code's already in the game. Just fucking put it in.
I think they said they were going to do that in one of the recent
They
Q&As.
said they'll do anything if the players want it.
If the
We can
players
do
want
it.
it.
We can
You
do
can't
it.
believe
The
it'll
community
come
wants it.
If it passes the poll, then sure.
Yeah, I'm really interested in them making more Slayer updates. I really want to see a couple more Slayer monsters, you know? We haven't had enough.
Coming never.
Yeah. Alright, who are some people that have not been on the podcast so far that you guys would like to see on it in the future?
Umi.
Yeah, I
Yeah, Stormy.
haven't talked to him for like 2 months about being on it. The last I talked to him, he said he was open to doing it.
I think he asked me if I wanted to be on it the same one that he wanted to be
Yeah,
on. So
yeah.
I guess I wouldn't mind being on it the same one he's on if you want that.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun for sure.
Like, nice to get RS3 players because their opinions vary a lot from ours.
And they're usually more intelligent and not as close-minded as us.
Yeah.
Cap King.
Cap King would be nice, yeah.
Any type of J mod would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. No, Cap King would just say, "What the fuck is this?" to every question.
Someone who I'd really like to see on it is Kush. He,
Rip.
when he returns from his burntness, that'd be nice. I think he'd have a lot of intelligent things to say, contribute well.
Like, I've really got a slightly different perspective on it because I've seen things from behind the scenes of when I used to work there. But like, you know, have you ever heard of Mod Philip? He's like he does a,
he's
he
RS3,
does a
isn't he?
lot. No, he's like everything.
Oh.
But he does a lot for the game that people don't really know about, and I think even having him on the RuneScape live stream thing would be nice. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
like
They
he's
have
like
like Mod Jack Mob or some shit too.
he's
but
like
gone.
that could be possible.
Maybe.
But no, yeah, Mod Philip is like the real unsung hero of old school RuneScape.
I would also like to see
Old
I Am
school.
Big Truck.
Well, everything.
What does he do for old school though? I'm
Oh,
interested.
Well, he's-
truck.
he's
I'd
like
to see him roll.
His job title is like a technical director. He's like basically he's like he oversees everything to do with the engines for both games.
I haven't heard anything about that ever. Interesting.
Like you wouldn't really like he's not like a public person.
I see. Last question we got, and that is, do you think you will ever regret the time that you have spent on RuneScape?
Time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time.
Oh, yeah.
Every RuneScaper uses that the defense mechanism. Nah.
Yeah, just to justify it.
But it is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't think I will.
But what else would you do? You're not gonna like become the next professional athlete if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you got some.
Yeah,
hopes, so
I know. I've
You're just gonna play a different
I've
game,
seen
but-
people who have said like instead of the like 7,000 hours of RuneScape you've played, think if you were doing 7,000
You
hours
could've
of like
done this and this.
weightlifting or something like that,
Yeah.
or working.
Like, bitch, it don't work like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's time enjoyed is not time wasted.
Nightbot.
But I thought this was a real good podcast. About 2 hours, 40 minutes or so.
That's not long enough. We need more questions.
If you can think of anything real quick, let me know. We're out of questions otherwise.
Lacking viewers, give us questions.
What we were lacking was a secretary to keep up some of this shit. But alright though, everyone, probably gonna end it here though. Thanks everyone for
Wait.
what?
I have a good question. What is your Twitter account?
Hey, Randalicious RS.
Hey.
Follow me. I just passed Trance up in followers last week. Shout out to all my new followers. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to my future followers.
I am at Jord with 2 O's.
You don't need any more followers. Though.
How many do you have? It is like 12, 13K.
You know why I'm here.
13,000 or something, I don't know.
What? He's got more than me. Alright, everyone follow me. Unfollow him.
Cam, you don't have one
I'm
yet?
just at Trickool.
I do, but it's a personal Twitter. I probably don't want to advertise
Aw.
He posts all the chicks with Netflix pics on there. Man.
that. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm at OSRS_trance.
All right. And then last question I got here is, when will the podcast be uploaded to YouTube? Probably in like 12 hours or so. My computer has a really hard time running everything and uploading, processing, doing all the fucking bullshit of uploading it. So it'll be up sometime probably around like 6 or 7 a.m. EST. And for everyone who has watched this, thank you. Our next podcast will be September. That's my fucking birthday. I don't know. Somewhere between. It'll probably be September 4th or 5th. So I'll say September 4th is probably the most likely day for the next podcast. I'll put out a video a couple days in advance giving a kind of announcement of when and where it'll be. But it'll be on my Twitch channel, so throw me them follows. I appreciate that. But about to end it here. Thanks everyone for watching. See ya.
Cheerio.